don't lean upon no man where you say have money. My sister, my daughter, and my mother. Please, yeah? Liberty will take, right? I want you to try and have your own house, your own car, your own land, your own money. No man can talk to you. You're free. You do as you have a like. No man couldn't tell you say D nor thou, right? Good, good. You really run him, eh? Because you don't take nothing from him, right? You don't obligate by him.
The famous peanut dread. Well, those were words of wisdom by the famous peanut dread. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So I told everybody that I have an event tomorrow during the time that I usually go live, and I have to be at that event because we actually sponsor that event, and we're going to be vendors at that event. So I can't just leave it up to the text to be there. I have to be there. So with that said, I had to push our normal Sunday live to today, Saturday. So it's a Saturday live, but next week we go back to Sunday at 2:22, right? Whatever works. We have to make it work with real life, right? So let me just share the call-in link if anybody wants to call in. What I found, we were doing some research on how the channel is doing, and what I found is, yeah, that's right. What I found is, the playback is where is the goal for me. It seems like the playback is the goal for me. Every channel is different, right? Some people will have more active people during the lives, right? So it's a bit more festive, which is fine. But for me, it seems like I'm getting more on the playback. Right? People like to listen on their way to work or while they get ready to work or etc. So the playback is important. So today we are splitting another book in two, right? It is called Declutter Your Mind. Very, very excellent book. And of course, you guys know I'm very strategic in what I do. Very strategic. So this book, I wouldn't say it's a break from the financial books that we've been doing. It still has a lot to do with it, but it has a lot to do with business either way, right? Like decluttering your mind, making sure that you are effective in what it is that you're doing, and you're more strategic when it comes to implementing a lot of the lessons that you've learned from this channel in the past weeks. Okay, so let's see, 1 second. All right, so let's see. Oops, didn't mean to do that there. Right, okay. So again, today we're doing Declutter Your Mind. So because of the fact that the playback is the liquid gold for me, we will not tarry and we'll get right into the work, right? So welcome one and all to another episode from our Business Matters channel podcast, right? So today we're going to be doing, as I said before, Declutter Your Mind. So let me ask you this. And I want you to ask yourself this as well. Is your mind your biggest ally or your worst enemy? Right? So in today's world, we're carrying endless tabs open in our head. Endless. There's so many things that we have to keep up with. There's so many things that we have to do. Bills, we have emails, we have family, we have family stuff, we have unfinished project, right? So that little nagging voice in our head, sometimes it can really stop us. It can make us procrastinate because it tells us that, you'll never catch up. You have so much to do, etc., etc. But what if I told you that, that little nagging voice, the real weight that's actually holding you back, that's causing that nagging voice, it's not actually your workload. It's not. It's your mental clutter. Yeah, it is. It's your mental clutter, right? It's your mental clutter. So today we're diving into Declutter Your Mind by S.J. Scott and Barry Davenport, right? And it's a book that doesn't just talk about organizing your desk. That's just one aspect of it. But it talks about freeing your thoughts, and it gives you practical steps to do this, which will actually help you to become more effective, right? So this book will teach you how to free your thoughts, free your emotions, and focus so that you can breathe through the clutter and get back, get effective, right? So by the end of this live stream, you'll know how to silence the noise, sharpen your focus, and start building a life designed around clarity instead of chaos. Okay? So stick with me today, because this is not just about thinking less. It's not about thinking less. As a matter of fact, I think people should think better. Not necessarily more, but think better. But this is not about thinking less. It's about thinking better, right? And the shift that you're about to experience, it actually could unlock your productivity. Okay, it could unlock your peace and the power that you've been searching for. Hi, Merkaba. Sounds good to me. Hi, Merkaba. Glad to see you, my brother. Glad to see you, my brother. Right? So yeah, I was telling the Merkaba that I have to be more mindful on the playback, because that's where my liquid gold is. Right? Most people listen and watch the streams on the playback for me. Okay, so I have to be more mindful when it comes on to sound quality, as well as not chit-chatting too much. Okay. So, okay, another thing. Let's do a little house cleaning here. A little house cleaning. Sometimes we have to have these chats. Don't you love these chats? I do. So, listen, I got a couple DMs. Yes, it is true that in our culture, it doesn't mean that it's right. People refer to women as females. Now, listen, what I said is true. This is from slavery days, when Black people were not counted as humans. Now, granted, in the military, because I have military people in my family, my grandfather went to World War II. I have cousins in the military. One of my exes was in the Marine Corps. When they say female in a sentence, best believe they say male in the same sentence. So they won't refer to a man as a man, which is a male human being, and then refer to a woman as female. That is where the problem lies. And I don't know why it's so hard for people to get it, right? I did get a couple, but Miss Julia in the DMs since I put that up last week, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's good to have conversation, okay? But these are facts, okay? When you refer to males as men, and in the same conversation, you call women females, you're dehumanizing women. Because they're female what? There could be a female plug. There could be a female cat, cow, sheep, dog. Right? It's a bad practice. And it's a practice from slavery. Right? And it's a practice also from the patriarchy. You refer to men as men. And in the second breath, you call women females. It's offensive. Now, a lot of people in our society that do it, they probably don't know any better. They probably don't mean it to be offensive, but it is offensive, right? And even if you don't mean it to be offensive, you're not the only one listening to yourself. And the thing is, now you know. Now you know. So going off of that, this is why I'm not worried about followers. I don't want followers. I want leaders. My channel is for leaders. I don't care about followers. Right? The playback is good. I get good kudos. I know I'm helping people. Right? And what leaders do is when they know better, they do better. So here, the rule is when you refer to men and women, you call them men and women. You're not going to say men and then female, right? It's the patriarchy that kept that going from slavery. Educate yourself. And now that you know, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to change your language or not? I know you agree, Merkaba, because you are one of those men who are very, very conscious, right? And and I don't know if it's because of the fact that you travel so much, or you're a different breed anyway. You're different. So, you have that exposure, right? And so the guys who complain about it, listen, again, I told you, I am not for everybody. And this is something that you guys, that you don't understand. Not because somebody is likable means that they care about being liked that much. That's what I'm trying to, and I don't mean to be rude. You guys know I'm very respectful. I never mean to be rude. I'm very likable because that's just me and I'm my personality, and because I genuinely like people on a default. Genuinely, like I love human beings. I'm naturally curious. I love people. So people open up to me because I'm likable. But that doesn't mean that I clamor to be liked. I don't care. I know I won't be liked by everybody, and I don't want to be liked by everybody. That's too much, right? That's too much. So the type of people, and as a businesswoman, a business person, I understand target markets very well. Okay, you can't sell to everybody. Not even everybody wants the same water. Some people drink alkaline water, no pun. Some people drink smart water. Some people drink, you understand what I mean? So I am not for everybody, and that's fine. This channel will not be, if you're offended like that and you can't abide by these rules, then scroll on. It's fine. When you're ready, the teacher will appear. Or maybe you're not ready, and that's fine. But I don't want followers. I don't want pick-me's. I don't want people who are going to be in the chat bringing down people on the panel. I don't want that. I don't want people who are going to sell out other women just for male validation. I don't want that either. So stay over there, wherever you come from, right? I want people who are ready to be leaders, or people who are already leaders, so we can feed off each other and we can exalt and uplift each other. If you're not here to uplift me, right, and uplift what we are doing and uplift our panel, then why are you here? Don't come. Don't come. Don't come. You can listen in the bushes. That's fine. I give me views. That's fine. Because as I said, the playback is great, right? As you can see. Okay. Right. It's not for everybody, Merkaba. Exactly. Right. So don't think that I'm going to adjust things to make you comfortable. And that's another thing too. I will adjust certain things. Like when I first started the channel, yes, it was for our Jamaican community, because I saw a lot of our Jamaican community wanting to know more about business. That's true. But any business person who is worth their salt, that's me, knows that you start something, but you adjust as you go. You have to evolve or you will die. So the eyes that I'm getting, this is people who actually care about improving their lives, their financial lives, their children's lives, and the way they think. It's not for everybody, and that is fine. I am not for everybody either. A lot of people don't like me, and that is fine. Because guess what? Most people that I'm not short of love, right? So this is the rules. Like the stream as you enter. We use women, men, ladies, or gents, right? No male or female, okay? That is a dehumanization of the other person, okay? This is from slavery. And even if you didn't know before, now you know. So what are you going to do about it? Leaders, when they know better, they do better, okay? It's not for you. It's not for you. That's fine. So that's my rant for today. Now let me share my screen and let us start the show. La la la. Where is it? Share screen. Oh, yeah. This one. Yep. Share. So now I am going to have to make it. Hold on. I'm going to make it smaller because of what I told you before, right? What I'm doing before. I'll never tell. I can't tell you exactly what my plans are. So today we're doing Declutter Your Mind. It's an excellent book. And I suggest you get it. All right, now we're ready. So we're going to go by chapters. So there are 12 chapters. So today we're going to go through 6, right? We're going to go through 6 because, as I said to you before, I don't want to be rushing through. These chapters. I want to give them justice and give you justice, my listeners. Okay. So we're going to do 6 chapters today, and next week, Sunday, we're going to finish the other 6 chapters. Okay. So why decluttering your mind matters, right? The core idea of this book is mindfulness is a tool for managing your mental clutter, right? Most of us, we live on autopilot. That means we just do. We're thinking about the past. We're worrying about the future. We're multitask ourselves into exhaustion. Okay. Now, mindfulness, that interrupts that loop. Now, what do I mean by mindfulness? Take a breath. Be present. Fully concentrate on what it is that you're doing. Being mindful of your reactions. Okay? Being the observer. It's not hard. Okay? So mindfulness interrupts that loop, right? It helps us shift the attention from racing thoughts to present moment. So that clears your space for focus, it clears your space for calm, and it clears your space for clarity. And let me tell you something. If you are on the road of entrepreneurship or building your business, you need to be able to do this. You're going to have to do, especially if you have family around you, especially you have people around you, you have children. You have to be able to clear a space mentally for calm and for focus. And the better you get at it, the more it doesn't matter what's around you. You could be in a busy subway or in the middle of your family arguing and throwing pots and pans at each other, and you are just mentally calm. You have to be able to do that. And this book is going to show you how. Okay? So the points, the overall overarching points for this is awareness is power. So you can't change. Remember, we've been talking about this right through, guys, right through. You won't be able to change anything without being aware that you're doing it first. You need to have awareness. Okay? You won't be able to change anything without having the awareness that you actually are doing it, right? So mindfulness is about being consciously aware of what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're feeling. Talk to yourself. What is it that you're thinking right now? Okay? So when you do this, right, you don't just let your thoughts take over you. You have to be able to manage your mind. You have to control your mind, or your mind will control you, and that is not good. It will not end well for you if you have no control over your own mind. Okay? So you name your thoughts and you notice them without judging them, right? That way you loosen the grip of the thought. These are facts, right? If you're thinking something, you stop yourself, and first of all, sometimes you know what you're thinking by how you're feeling. Me, I'm very vibration aware. Very, very, very much so. If I feel something, my vibration is off, I stop myself immediately, because spiritually, I believe that your vibrations affect your manifestations, what you bring in this life. And I don't play with that. So the vibration first thing, thought. First cause, always thought. First cause, always thought. First cause, always thought. So you become aware of your thoughts, right? True. Yes, Merkaba, I know you know for sure, right? So mindfulness, it reduces that thought chatter. All this stuff in your head, all this stuff in your head. And you can see it on people sometimes, right? You can see it on them, the stress, or they're not there. You're talking to them and they're just in their own mind because they have that thought chatter, right? Much of your mental clutter, that is noise. It's unfinished tasks. Sometimes it's regrets. A lot of times it's anxieties, right? But mindfulness, it gives you the space to pause, to observe, and to respond properly instead of being reactive and reacting. And you need that. You need that with leading people. You need that in your friendships. You need that just in life to be an effective human being. Okay? What I loved about this book too, and Merkaba will know about this, is breath is an anchor, because he does yoga as well. And I do yoga, we do breathing techniques. Breath is an anchor. Your breath, people, I'm telling you this, is the simplest way to ground yourself in the present moment. Breathe. A lot of times you'll find, and I want you to try it for yourself. I want you to try it for yourself. If your breath is shallow, right? How many of you know that your breath is actually shallow? Like, how many of you actually pay attention to your inhales and your exhales? Right? And of course, you're not going to be doing it all the time. There's a reason it's automatic. So you don't have to think about breathing. That's true. Right? But focusing on your inhale and your exhale, it pulls you out of your mental spirals. That's why sometimes when people are losing it, people say, okay, calm, breathe, breathe, breathe. It gives you that pause. It gives you that pause. Okay? It gives you that pause. And all spiritual practices encourages you to just breathe. Okay? So mindfulness is not a one-time thing. It's not a one-time thing. It's a practice. It's a practice, right? And it's not something that you become perfect at. I guess you could become perfect. I'm not going to say you can't become perfect, but it's not perfection. That's not the point of it. Okay? Even one mindful breath interrupts the clutter. You're going through a lot of things. You just find out, somebody you're close to pass, or there's an accident. Before you rage out, or somebody's raging out at you, before you respond, you give yourself that space and breathe, right? Over time, it strengthens your ability to quiet your mind on demand. And not to brag, but that's something that I'm very proud of myself that I can do. I can quiet my mind anytime, on demand. Anytime. No matter what's going on around me, I can turn it off. A lot of people say they can't do it. The reason why they say they can't do it is because they haven't practiced it. It's something that takes practice. It's something that takes practice. And it will save your sanity. Okay? Now, here's a quote. This is his quote, and I'm going to give you my meaning for it as well as an example. You know the drill. You know how we do it over here, right? The present moment is the only time over which we have dominion. And this is facts, right? Thich Nhat Hanh, look him up, not a spiritual leader. He referenced that the spirit in mindfulness. Now, I want you to think about it. I want you to really think about it. The present moment, right? The present moment is the only time in which you have dominion. Right now, you can't change the future. It hasn't come yet. And you can't change the past. It's gone. When you think about the past, when do you think about it? I want you to think with me here. When you think about the past, when do you think about it? Now. in the present moment. So even if you're remembering something, and I'm remembering something that somebody did to me last week, I'm remembering it right now. Even when I'm planning for the future, which I love to do, right? I'm planning for the future in the present moment, right now. So even though what I do now does definitely affect the future, my dominion is still in the now, because I'm still doing for the future right now. So tomorrow, I have the wedding show. I can think about it all I want for tomorrow, visualize, think about how well we're going to do, what I need to get together, all of that stuff. But guess when I'm doing it right now in the now. That's why the now is so powerful. That's why the now is so powerful, right? So you can't change the past and you can't control the future, but you can fully shape the present moment. And now sometimes that means you shape the present moment to help the future. Okay? So, example, imagine you're worrying about tomorrow's business pitch. Say you have a business pitch tomorrow, right? Instead of you spiraling and, oh my God, I want to do the program going to work, and blah, 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 blah. Pardon me. Mindfulness says, what can I do now to make sure that tomorrow goes well? Well, you can prepare slides, right? You can practice your delivery on your pitch, right? You can rest your body. But all of that is done in the now. That's why the now is so important, right? So your anxiety will shrink because you've anchored what you can do to action. That's why I don't worry. It makes no sense you worry about things. If I can fix something for the future, I'm going to fix it. If I can't fix it, I'm going to let it go and pray and hope for the best. Right? Pray and hope for the best. But do as much as you can do. If you can't do anything about it, then you can't. And that, you see, and this is why I love these books. This is why I love these books so much. And I wish you guys had the just love the passion for reading these things, because they tie in so perfectly. They tie in so perfectly. Because remember, from the 7 habits that we read many moons back, well, not many moons, but I think it was in June or July, the 7 habits, when he was talking about your circle of influence and your circle of things that you don't influence. I don't remember the exact name of the circle, but your circle of influence is circle of influence and your circle of concern. Your circle of influence is the things that you can do to actually make a change. Your circle of concern, things that you're probably concerned about that you can't do anything about. So once you figure that out, what it is that you can change or what is that you can't do anything about, the clutter goes, or it begins to go. Okay? Right. So don't forget that, guys. Don't forget that. Don't forget the power of the now. The now is what you have control over. And don't forget what I said. Think about it for yourself. When you think about the past and you're ruminating about the past and you're upset about the past, when are you thinking about it? You're thinking about it in the now. When you're planning for the future, even though you're visualizing and thinking about the future, when are you thinking about it? You're thinking about it in the now. Don't be lost on that, okay? All right, next quote. Mindfulness isn't difficult. We just need to remember to do it. Yes. And then soon it just becomes natural for you to do it, right? Sharon Salzberg said that. So I give her credit for that. Miss Sharon Salzberg said that. Mindfulness isn't difficult. We just need to remember to do it. And let me tell you something. Stress is a good reminder to remember. It shouldn't have to, but in the beginning stages, and I'll just tell you, I'll just tell you from my experience. In the beginning stages, yes, it's going to be stress that reminds you to You know what? Let me take a breath. Or anger. That's gonna be the trigger to remind you, because you become aware from that trigger. But then after you keep doing it and you keep doing it, you don't need a stimulus. You're just naturally mindful of what you're doing. And then you become aware of when you weren't mindful. Yeah? Yeah. You become aware of when you were not mindful. So it's stages. It's all stages. I don't know if you understand what I'm going to trust that you understand what I'm saying, right? Because I'm making it very simple. It's all stages, right? So, meaning, mindfulness is not about skill. It's about consistency, right? You have to be consistent to yourself, telling yourself that you're being mindful, right? The challenge is not complexity, but forgetting to return to the present. So a lot of times you get lost in your thoughts. And this is how sometimes people manifest some terrible, terrible, terrible things. Manifest some terrible, horrible things. Because they're just so negative in their head, in their head, in their head, in their head. All the time. Right? So the challenge is not complexity. The challenge is forgetting to return to the present moment. Why are you in your head? Be here now. That's another spiritual practice from one of my spiritual mentors, who I've never met before, but still a spiritual mentor, A.K.A. Tolle. Read him. His book, one of his books is called The Power of Now, right? The Power of Now. It's a beautiful book. And he has other books too. He has another book called Stillness Speaks. I have his whole collection. He's one of my spiritual mentors, A.K.A. Tolle. He's awesome. Okay? Check him out, A.K.A. Tolle. Okay? So, all of these things tie together. And when you start growing business sense, you're going to find that you start growing in other areas too. If you're truly growing, you're going to find that other areas of your life starts to grow too, because everything spills over. Everything spills over. Everything spills over. The good and the bad. So you have to be careful. Make sure it's just the good. Okay? So, example, a busy entrepreneur, you can set an hourly phone reminder to take a breath. So you make your phone. First of all, I couldn't do that because that would drive me mad, because I can't stand any kind of alarm that goes, But maybe you have a gentle alarm that can go or whatever, to have the nice sounds, right? So whenever you hear it, since you're getting into it, right? Whenever you hear it, you remember, start small. Start small, right? So a busy entrepreneur, you can set an hourly phone reminder to take one mindful breath, right? And then over weeks, it does rewire your stress response. I'm telling you these things because I know them to be true. Like, I lived this stuff. Right? I'm not as young as I look or I appear, but there's a reason why I look this young. Because I don't age like normal people, because I don't take on stress like normal people. And I take very good care of my internal self, right? People always think that everything is things that you put on yourself. No, a lot of it is inside. Your eyes will shine, you take care of your soul. Then you'll always have a vibrant spirit. Take care of your soul, take care of your energy, be aware. It's a self thing, it's not an out there thing. Okay? So, over the weeks, it rewires your stress response. So instead of panicking at chaos, you pause and you breathe and you respond with clarity. That's why I always tell you, clarity is one of my superpowers. Now, these are things that I'm letting you know. And this is over 20 years of living. This is over 20 years of doing. Over. Right? And that's the beauty of this channel, because I read all of these books. A lot of them I read a long time ago. and I have to remind myself of it to write the stuff. But basically, it's over 2,000 books for you, so you don't have to read 2,000 books. So that saves you time, right? And whichever book you like that we cover, you can say, I like the concepts in that book. Let me go and check it out myself. So I'm saving you time, and it's free. Now, can you imagine what I would give you if you actually paid me? But that's for another story. That's another time, right? So yeah, so all of these books I'm sharing with you, all of these insights I'm sharing with you, over 2,000 books that you now don't have to read. That's value, right? So the mindfulness thing, the breath thing is a serious thing, it's a true thing. And it's not something that you should talk about. It's not something that you have to blah, 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 make it, put it on Instagram post, none of that. It's something for you to do within yourself for your own growth. Okay, let's continue. Next. So the 5 breath reset. This is a practical application here. That's why I love giving the practical applications, because I know we're practical people. The practical is what matters. Okay, the practical is what matters. Yeah, I had to carry my fan because even though my house is cool, the ring light, I have a ring light there. I don't use filters. It's just a ring light. Somebody asked me that before. I don't use filters. It's a ring light. The ring light sometimes is like, it makes me hot. Right? So, so the 5 breath reset. So when you find your thoughts are getting spiraled, right? You have so much to do. You have all this, blah, blah, blah. You have all of this. Stop. Take 5 slow, conscious breaths. Let me tell you something. This is science. It's not just spirituality. And really and truly, I don't like to say just spirituality, because a lot of spirituality is actually scientific. A lot of people just don't know that, right? Because of how it's been portrayed to us. Okay? 5 slow, conscious breaths. It actually resets your nervous systems. You don't believe me? Google it. You have a phone, don't you? I'm sure you do. That's why I tell you guys all the time. Don't listen to me. Google it. Or look it up. Okay? It actually does. It's science. And you guys know I love science. I love all arts. Right? 5 conscious breaths. It does reset your nervous system. Okay? Do that. Right. So there's also mindful transitions. Right? So before moving from one task to the other task. Hi, Brandon. Deep breaths and laughter does the soul. You know that, Brandon. You know that, Brandon. Deep thoughts and laughter does the soul. My friend Brandon. My goodness. Good to see you. And that's one of the joys in life, people, to have friendships that last. You know, when you give your all to people and you love people and they actually love you back and respect you. Thanks, Brandon. Yes, deep breaths and laughter does the soul well. You can't buy that on the street. You can't buy that on the street, Brandon. Right? So the mindful transitions, and Brandon knows about transitions because Brandon is a musician himself, so he knows all about transitions. So before moving from one task to the other, like before sending, and this is what I do. I don't want to give you too much more secrets, but I might as well because I want to give you value. If you follow it, that's up to you. So before ending, so when I finish emails, right before I go to a meeting, I give myself 1 minute. I know I wrote here, pause for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is just not long enough for me, right? So when between tasks, like I know I have my meeting, so I'm old school. I write things down and I cross them out. I love to do that, right? So I don't use like certain apps for that. Like I actually like to write things down and cross them out as I go. Maybe it's a little OCD, I don't know, right? But what I do is I finish this task and I take a minute, take some breaths, clear that task away. It's done. Julia, you did it perfectly. It's done now. Close it away, compartmentalize it, move on to the next task. That's what I do. So I breathe, I clear my mind, and I fully enter the next task. I never, ever, ever, and don't do this, guys. Don't enter one task carrying the other task with you, because you're going to screw up everything. And this is something that I tell people who work with me. Do it. And that's why I come back again to my grandfather's wisdom, right? My grandfather's wisdom is like, and that's from the Bible too, because he was a biblical man. And he said, whatever thine hands findeth to do, do it with all thy might. So when I'm doing a task, I do it with all my might, make sure it's up to my standards, and close it off, and then move on. Do not start another task thinking that, oh, I didn't finish that one properly. Oh, I should have to go back to that. Then you didn't finish it. Then why did you move on? Unless you can say, you know what? I'm halfway done. I'm finished with it right now. I have to move on to the next task. That's fine. But the half that I completed, I'm satisfied with it. Okay? It depends on how you work it out for yourself. Okay? But the point of the matter is, the moral of the story is, do not move on to another task carrying the drudge of the class before inside of it. Be fresh. And you can do that with your breath work. Okay? So, anchor. You can choose one daily routine to start. And this is why I wrote this here, right? I want you to start small. So, choose one daily routine like brushing your teeth. You brush your teeth every day, hopefully. Hopefully more than once a day, right? Commit to doing it mindfully. Just say that, you know what? While I'm brushing my teeth, I'm just going to brush my teeth and feel it, the vibrations in my mouth, and be present here with it right now. One task, just one. Just do one for yourself. Just do one and do it mindfully, right? Over time, it does expand your awareness into the rest of your life. Now, and you know what? Sometimes it sticks with you. It does. Sometimes it sticks with you. Because for me, this scarf is like, what is your deal? Yeah, my hair, I'm making my hair go back curly because it's getting cold. I don't want it to keep breaking off. It's breaking off too much hot irons and stuff. All right, so for me, this thing stuck with me for years, to the point where I still do it. And I don't even try to do it. For years, every time when I walk this, because I take the stairs instead of the elevator as much as I can, right? So whenever I take the stairs, I'm very conscious of this, each step. One step, then the next. I'm not counting the steps, but I'm fully present in doing the steps, right? So this is why people will think that you're weird, right? When you start to do these things, but it's okay. It's your life. Live your life. They live in their life. You live yours. So sometimes if I'm walking on the steps with somebody and they're talking to me, I'm not hearing a word they're saying. I'm like, I'm like, and I'm scanning it, but I'm not really as involved as I normally am in conversation, because it stuck with me so much, right? I think I was 21 or 20 when I first read The Power of Now. I think so. Yeah. One of them. Right. And it's just talking about the mindfulness. And I started doing a whole, because I tell you, it's so funny. If you ever knew. Hi, Gary. Hello, everyone. Hi, Miss Julia. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Good to see you here, my friend, my special friend. Right. So you walk up the steps, right? You walk up the steps and you're mindful about it. It's not like you're counting the steps, but you're mindful about this. You're mindful about taking each step. And that stuck with me to this point. So many years later, that even, you're welcome, Gary. Good to see you. Always good to see you. So Gary just threw me off. What a nice surprise. Yeah. So as you walk up the steps, right? As you walk up the steps, it stuck with me all these many years later. I don't want to date myself, but it stuck with me all these many years later. So now when I'm walking up steps with someone, if they're talking to me, I'm still, it's like automatic. I go into that mindfulness. Even though I do make sure that I'm mindful throughout the day, to the point where, if I'm walking, say I'm carrying my groceries into my home and I stub my toe, I realized that, Julia, you weren't mindful in that moment. That's how deep it goes. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this. Like once you start doing these practices and once you start taking over your mind a certain way, it changes everything. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? This is your life. This is your life. And so far as we know, regardless of what your beliefs are, this is the life that we know. This is your life. Like try different things for you to make you better and to make your life better. Try it. I'm telling you, it works. Okay? It works. Just try for yourself. You owe it to yourself. The fact that you're alive. Do you know the chances of you being alive, being here? You, like actual you. You know what I mean? That's how special you are. You are that special. The chances of you as a human being not only making it to the egg, but the egg actually accepting you, you actually growing from a zygote, you actually making it to a fetus, you actually making it through childbirth, you actually making it through SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, you actually making it through and being here, right? And that's what I told somebody the other day, because she was having problems with jealousy, and I said to her, listen, nobody is good at everything, but everybody is good at something. You got to find that something. So then you won't be hating on people when you see them doing what they're doing. You're wonderful. So give yourself that chance and actually try. Try. It works. You deserve it. You owe it to yourself. Or don't. Up to you. Anyhow, so yeah. So as a start, you choose one. Gary said so true. You choose one daily routine, like brushing your teeth or drinking your coffee, and you commit to do it mindfully, doing it mindfully, right? So over time, it expands your awareness into the rest of your life. It does. You become very, very aware of what you're doing. And that's why people would say, oh, you move so gracefully. Oh, you move so, you're so, you just have an air about you. It's not a matter of an air about you. It's not a matter of trying to move gracefully. It just happens naturally because you're mindful. You're mindful, right? Now, let's move on. So there's a decluttering habit. So this is what I do, and will work for you. You use your mindfulness to question your intrusive thoughts. Now, in order to do that, you have to be aware of the intrusive thoughts. You have to be aware and say, why am I thinking that, right? So this is what you do. It's kind of like Rotary. Rotary have these questions too, but in a different form. So you ask, is this useful? Is it true? Does this deserve my energy right now? You see, and when you're able to do that, people wonder how it is that you're able to perform. They say, Julia, or whoever, Gary or Brandon or Mark, you're superhuman. Like, how are you able to do this and just jump to this and do that? You know why? Because you don't get drained by thoughts, and there's such a thing as thought vibration. Whereas if you don't become a very good steward of your thought, you find yourself thinking other things from other people. They're not truly your thoughts. And that's why a lot of people get frustrated and they start something and then they stop. They can't keep focused. A lot of those thoughts aren't theirs. It's just their mind is just so unstewarded, right? That thought vibrations come and hit them from all over the place. These are facts. You don't believe me? Start stewarding your thoughts and stewarding your mind and you see the difference. Okay? So this is what I ask. Is this useful to me right now to be thinking that? Is it true? Does this deserve my energy right now? That doesn't mean that something does not deserve your energy. But does it deserve your energy right now? Okay, for instance, For the show tomorrow, I need to pack some goodie bags. Yes, that's true. I still need to pack the goodie bags. But guess what? I've said I'll do this after the show. So I'm leaving that thought for after the show. It doesn't deserve my energy right now because I'm with you. If I'm with you, I'm with you. You get my full attention right now. I'm present with you. I'm not here talking to you and thinking about, oh, let me hurry up. Because I have to pack goodie bags. No. The goodie bags, I've allotted enough time to do the goodie bags after the show. Right now, I'm with you. That is presence, and people feel that. Your children will feel that. Your spouse will feel that. People you love will feel that. Your customers will feel that. Your audience, I hope you feel that. I'm fully present with you, 100%. Right? 100%. Right. So, where was I? Right. So, mental clutter, right, is the constant swirl of thoughts, worries, and distractions, and it drains your energies and it creates stress. All of that things that you have to do, it drains your energy and it creates stress. You have to deal with things one at a time. You can only do it one at a time anyway, properly. You can only do it properly one at a time, right? So the book teaches how to identify and how to eliminate and how to prevent unnecessary mental clutter. Okay? It teaches you how to identify, how to eliminate, and how to prevent unnecessary mental clutter. When you're in a race in the pool, right? When you're swimming or whatever sport you do, and your mind, I just I love the pool so much because when we're racing, right? And we're just there with the black line, you're just going. And it's just so freeing. The black line is what you stare at the bottom of the pool when you swimmers know this. When you're racing, right? You're not thinking about anything else but form and speed. Okay? So you need that fire focus. You need that focus, right? So your focus is on mindfulness, your values, and your routines, and letting go. Okay? There are 4 pillars of a clear mind. 4 pillars of a clear mind. Write it down, take a picture, do whatever you need to do. 4 pillars of a clear mind. And yes, I'm going to get the whiteboard for you. I just have been busy. Again, it's been on the it's still a priority, but hey, I'm one person. I have to put it on my mind. Okay? So, mindfulness, values, routines, and letting go. That's 4 pillars of a clear mind. When it comes to routines, Gary Hem can tell you he is very disciplined and very routine, right? Because he had certain things that he has to do every day. So as soon as he gets up and he does this, he does A, B, C. So now it's like discipline, one after the other. It's routine. You know why? Because that way he doesn't have to think about it. He's become so disciplined in what it is that he's doing for his routine that he doesn't think about it. He just gets up, does this, does that, get breakfast, get that done, and out the door. Same thing with me. Same thing with other effective entrepreneurs, right? And Brandon as well. You have to, you certain things, you just make it part of your discipline so you don't have to think about it. Okay? So, clearing your mental clutter, it allows space for creativity. It allows space for productivity. It allows space for peace and for better decision making. And that is what it is all about. You can't make good decisions when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, or when you have too many things going on. You cannot. You don't make good decisions. And that's why you find so many of those people in prison or in the jail cell. And they'll say, I don't know what came over me. I don't know what happened. I don't know. That's out of character. Right? A clear mind is necessary, especially when dealing with all these other people. Because remember, it's people that make things difficult, you know. It's not necessarily your work. It's not necessarily your life. It's people. It's people that make things difficult. You can ask Merkaba, right? It's people that make things difficult. Okay? All right. Next. Here's a quote. The busier you are, the more you need to build quiet reflection into your schedule. Yes. And I put introduce. Yes. The busier you are, the more you need to build quiet reflection into your schedule. Listen, there are certain things that are just non-negotiable, especially for me. Non-negotiable. When I wake up in the morning, I need that quiet time, even for 30 minutes. I don't go straight to my phone. Unless my friend is having a baby or somebody's sick, then I just want to make sure that everything's okay. But still, I see nothing there. Okay, great. Okay. You need that reflection time, because you remember what is my main lesson that I've been teaching you guys for the past umpteen weeks. What? You forget? Sustainability. You don't just do things to do them. Things have to be sustainable. Yes, Brandon, I know you know. Things have to be sustainable. Before I started this channel, I wanted to do it for a long time, but before I started it, I said, Julia, look at your schedule. Will you be able to do this for at least 2 years? Because you know, when you commit, you're like a pit bull. And I said, okay, I'll be able to do this. If I can do this and I can do that, then I can do it. I can make it better. But I need to learn this. Do I have space to learn this? Right? Things have to be. That's why you find so many people start and stop, and they go full out. And then they just drop. Because it wasn't sustainable. Right? Sometimes it's their intentions. But guess what? There's an old saying, the road to hell was built with great intentions. Because guess what? Doesn't matter what your intentions were. It matters about your impact. Impact over intentions always. I don't want to hear about what your intentions were. That's great. You had intentions. Great. Good for you. What is the actual impact? I'm not a mean person, guys. But I'm strict where I need to be strict. And that's why people don't, that's why I'm kind of hard for people to get sometimes. Don't study me, you won't graduate. Because I'm pretty easygoing in a lot of things, but I have to be, I get to be easygoing in a lot of things because I'm very strict in the things that matter. Right? I'm very strict in the things that matter. And sometimes people don't get that. But in the things that actually matter, it gives me the freedom to be able to be cool and relaxed in the other things. Okay? So you need to be able to have that reflection before I go to bed. First of all, after 4 o'clock, I don't enter any kind of disagreements or arguments, especially near to bed. No, that's not me. I don't care. Right? I'll listen to you, etc. But I'm not arguing. I'm not going to put my spirit in combativeness before I'm supposed to be resting. I know better than that. A lot of people don't know better than that. That's them. That's their fault. But again, this is my life. I have to live my life the best way I can for me and for the people that I'm trying to help and the people around me, right? So if you try to bring an argument to me at 7 o'clock, no, I'll deal with it tomorrow. Where's the fire? Where's the fire? No fire? Okay. No blood? Okay. It can't wait. Not doing it. Right? Because I take my rest seriously. I need my rest in order to be able to perform. That's why I don't have a TV in my room. I don't want those messages coming into my subconscious veil when I'm in theta brainwave. Again, this is science. Look it up for yourself. Right? So, the busier you are, the more you need to build quiet reflection into your schedule. And this is where boundaries come in. You're going to be busy. It's your new life. You're going to be busy. You're starting your business. You're doing all of these things. Guess what? You need some boundaries. If you're cutting off at 11 o'clock, you cut off at 11 o'clock. People will adjust around you. If they can't adjust, they're not the right people. Don't let people mess with your boundaries. Because you remember, your boundaries are for you. It's not for other people, right? And some people are just draining. You give them a boundary and they'll be like, why? But why? I don't owe you a why. This is what it is. This is where it is. This is just what the price of admission is. It's just simple as that. You can deal with them and they're free for all. That's fine. But for me, for my life to work and for my life to work for you to be in it, this is the boundary. Can you respect that or not? If you can't respect that, go somewhere else. Straight up. And it sounds mean and it sounds like as if you're being harsh, but guess what? This is your life. If you're going to be strict with anything to be productive and to be better, make it be your life, because you can't control other people. You can control yours. Okay? So this is where boundaries come in, right? You have your reflection schedule. You put your phone on do not disturb. That's what I do. And my friends know that if they call me or they text me and they can't get me, it says do not disturb, is because of the fact that she's in deep work, right? Then afterwards I will see it and I'll get right back to them, right? So productivity doesn't come from endless activity, but from creating mental space. Why? Because the endless activity, it will burn you out. It will burn you out. You have this, you do this, and then you don't do anything right. You do everything halfway or 80% or 90%. Guess what? The impact that I have and the influence that I have is that people know that if Julia's name is behind it, it's going to be well done. If Julia decides that she's going to do it, or Julia's name is with it, it's going to be excellent. These are facts. So my name means something, right? Because of the fact from these small practices. It's not because I'm greater than anybody. It's not that. I'm not greater than anyone. Everybody has a potential inside of them. But it's a matter of what you fine tune. The devil is in the details. These are facts. Okay? So, practical example. A CEO who wants to schedule 30 minutes of meditation or journaling daily often makes better long-term decisions than someone reacting to fires all day. It's true. Trust me, I've seen some. God bless them. I know some people that they always frazzled. Oh, how this do? I'm even talking to them sometimes. Give you like it just make you like, whoa. Hold on there, Sally. Sorry. I have to laugh because this is real life. Like, I have to laugh. Like, some people talk to them have great intentions and it's just like, them just always, I said, boy, you must sleep deep. Because wow, listen, it's never too early to have a stroke, you hear? Sometimes you just need to calm down, right? Take a breath and do what needs to be done today or right now, okay? And laugh. Laughter is the best. That's why I laugh so much, right? Me, I crap myself up all the time, but find joy. You know, you have to laugh. It's stress relief, like Brandon said. It's stress relief, right? Right. So, quote 2. Your external world is often a reflection of your internal world. What did I always say to you guys? As within, so without. Your external world is actually a mirror of your internal world. And that's not only with health, that is also with your mental processes as well. Right? You have good thoughts. You cleanse your soul. You make sure that you don't carry bad mind, like what we call in our community. Your eyes will naturally shine. You'll naturally have like a exuberance or a childlike quality, because your soul is like a childlike quality. You don't harbor bad things or harbor things or hold grudges. You just know what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and you move on. Right? Mental clutter, it manifests physically. It does. Right? When you see people, you go to their place, or even if you don't go to their place, you see people, it's like dog hair all over the place, mess all over the place. They're just messy. That's a reflection of what's in their mind. That's a reflection of what's in their mind, right? And usually these people have chaotic relationships. Nothing is in its right place. You're going through there's a sea of paper everywhere, just madness. And I know sometimes people say, oh, there's method to my madness. Listen, it's a reflection of chaotic thought and chaotic relationships. I'm telling you the truth. Look at it for yourself. You don't believe me? Try it out. People have that stuff together. Usually they know where to find what they need to find. Right? They know where to find what they need to find. I'm telling you the truth. Right? They don't have all these chaotic people in their lives gossiping and all these chaotic things happening. Okay? Hi, dear Tasha. Bless up. Blessings, dear. Thanks for coming by and thanks for always supporting. Thanks for being here. Right? Yeah, we're just talking about mental clutter and how it manifests physically. Right? To people's surroundings. When you see people's surroundings and it's just a mess, usually that person's thoughts are a mess. Usually their relationships are a mess, or they have a lot of messy people around them. Okay? These are facts. These are facts. As within, so without. It reflects. When you're in a bad, that's why you see, and you don't believe me? Okay, fine. Do your own research. People who are depressed and stuff, they hardly have a neat place around them. They're always in mess when they're depressed. Depression is a real thing. And you can see the evidence of your mind in your surroundings. Okay? Now, practical example. If someone is constantly losing their keys, losing bills, or important notes, it reflects scattered thinking. It's like they can't keep track of everything, right? So decluttering your mind, it creates external order. These are facts. These people, they don't know where they never know where they put anything. Never know. Can't find this, can't find that, can't find this, can't find that. Because they're jumping from thing to thing. That's why I said to you the other day, no, I said to you today about the other day, when I was coming in with my groceries, right? And I stubbed my toe. I stopped myself and I took a breath and I said, Julia, that means you weren't present. You're thinking about the next thing. You're carrying the groceries, that's fine, but you stub your toe. That means I was not present. If I was present, I would have seen what was there and I wouldn't have stubbed my toe. Right? So as you become more present and you practice these things and you're practicing decluttering your mind, it becomes second nature for you. You start to realize when you are not present. Okay? How many people drive and they're not present? I end up in crash because they're driving and I'm thinking about Tom, Dick, and Harry. Right? Like the other day, I was saying to myself, what shade of green is this person waiting on to go? Right? And in Canada, people are very polite. So you're not going to really honk somebody until like a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds pass. And you just lightly tap, beep, but you don't go, ha, ha. It's not like New York, right? Or Jamaica. Where as soon as the light change, they're on you, right? Canada is different. So, but you can see the person was not present. And guess what? She wasn't looking on her phone. She wasn't looking at anything. She was just there in space. All of those things in her mind was just going. Right? You have to be present. Stop accidents from happening and stop hurting yourself. Okay. Yeah. Next. So, mindfulness, it interrupts your mental autopilot, right? Our mind, it often dwells on past regrets or future worries, as I told you before, right? So that creates mental clutter. Remember, I want you to always think about this, guys. Always think about this. When you're thinking about the past, remember that you're using the now to think about the past. The past already happened. It's already gone. So when you're thinking about it and ruminating about what she said and what he did and why I never do this and why she never do this and ass dead and cow fat, right? You're doing that. You're using the precious now to think about the past. When you're planning for the future, you're using the precious now to plan for the future. Sometimes it's warranted because you do have to plan for the future, but just be aware that you're using the precious now for the future, right? So the mind often dwells on past regrets or future worries, creating mental clutter. Mindfulness helps to shift your attention to the present moment, right? And that fosters calm and clarity. Clarity, that's my superpower. I love clarity. Love clarity. Awareness and observing thoughts. So, awareness that gives you the power by noticing thoughts without judgment. So it loosens your grip. A while ago, I had a grip in my hand. Okay. The grape drop. Okay, it dropped. I'll pick it up after. I'm not going to just use it now and just be like, oh, okay, the grape drop. Oh my goodness, blah, blah, blah. Let me hurry up and pick it up. No. Because right now I'm with you. The grape drop, I can deal with that later. That presence comes after, right? So you notice your thoughts without judgment. You don't say, that was a bad thought. How stupid. Oh my gosh. I dropped the grape. I hope it didn't mess up the carpet. Oh, that's ruminating, and that's not mentally healthy. Mental health is important, people. We wouldn't have all these problems in relationships and in this world if people were more mentally healthy. Right? That's why I always tell people, don't rush to go into relationships, because you cannot have a healthy relationship with an unhealthy person. And there's a lot of people who are mentally them not right? Or they appear right, right? But in Jamaica, we'll say them not right, the madman in clean clothes. Not saying that they're mad, but I mean, right? Mental health is important, right? So this is how you take care of your mental health. You can't have clutter there. You have to be careful, right? So let's pick it up. Mindfulness reduces thought chatter from worries and unfinished tasks. The task is unfinished. Tuesday at 2 p.m., I'll finish this task. Good. I schedule it. It's out of my mind. I'm not going to be driving thinking about the task that I need to do. Because guess what? I already block off time for Tuesday. I'm thinking about that. So anybody call me about it, right? And this is where the savage come in. Anybody call me about it, I say, listen, I'm going to deal with it at Tuesday at 2 p.m. We'll talk to you about it after. But Miss Julia, I said, listen to me. I'm not dealing with that right now. There's no fire. The deadline is Thursday. Tuesday after 2 p.m. I'll talk to you about it. Okay, bye. And I carry on in my day because I compartmentalize this. I'm not going to be ruminating and thinking and going crazy. These are things that you need to do, especially as you build anything. Okay, these are facts, right? So practical mindful techniques. Use your breath, as I said, as an anchor, right? You focus on your inhale and your exhale to ground yourself. Ground yourself. Relax. It's okay, right? And you practice that regularly, it takes you out of the clutter, okay? Declutter your thoughts, right? So the point, thoughts create stress when they're left unchecked. They often cycle on autopilot. And you find that one bad thought, you start thinking about another bad thought, then all of a sudden you're in a mood. You're in a mood. That's why you find so many people have attitudes and just in a mood. Like, what's wrong with you? It's a demon. You need to monitor your thoughts. I'm not going to monitor your thoughts for you. You have to monitor your own thoughts. So when you don't check your thoughts, find out where it came from, why am I thinking this? And also knowing that your thoughts affect your vibration, which will affect your manifestations, right? you cut it off real quick. Okay, so you identify recurring thoughts and you challenge them. Are these thoughts true? Is this thought useful to me right now? If not, you can get rid of it, guys. It's your thoughts, it's your mind. It's not that foreign. Control yourself, beginning with controlling your thoughts. If you can't control your thoughts, you can't control yourself. You need to be able to control your thoughts. And the quicker you learn that, the better. Okay? Mindfulness helps observe thoughts without judgment. And you know what? Journaling is also a tool. It's a good tool to dump out your thoughts on paper. Since you're just starting out, journal. You don't have to get nothing expensive. Get an exercise book. That's what we call lined books in Jamaica, guys. An exercise book is just like a notebook, like what your kids would carry to school. That's just blank, that they can write notes in, right? So just get a book, a simple book from the dollar store, right? And just start to just write out, dump out what it is that you use, what you're thinking too much about. Write it out. That will reduce you obsessing and ruminating and, oh, she did this and he did this and blah blah blah. It's not that important. A lot of these people are not that important. They should not be living so much in your head rent free. Really. Okay, now quote. You don't have to believe every thought you have. Here we go. This is discipline here. Not because you have a thought mean that you have to believe it. You might be wrong. That's why clarity is so important to me. And seeking clarity is so important to me. Don't believe everything that you think. Your reality might be different than the other person's reality. The person might not have meant it that way. But you want to think what you want to think because it makes you feel good or it makes you feel snug in whatever narrative you want to live with. Right? Don't believe every thought that you have. Seek clarity. Not every thought reflects reality. A lot of these are distortions. A lot of it are distortions from your own past. Remember I was telling you about the young lady I was walking with down Georgia Avenue when I was at Howard? And the Asian lady passed us. And she thought that the Asian lady, she's like, oh, see, they're all racist, you know. She looked at me and she made up her face. And I was like, this woman did not make up her face at you. The woman made up her face, but not at us. You don't know what was going on with that woman. She probably saw somebody yonder that reminded her of something else. She probably had a thought for herself that just coincided when we were passing. She could have just wanted to itch herself. Who knows? But because of her past, she equated that to the woman being racist to her or not liking her. And I didn't see it. The woman did not look at us one bit. Right? So your thought might not reflect reality. It might be a distortion. So here it goes. A person might think, oh my God, I'm terrible at public speaking. That's one mistake. After one mistake, they try it one time and they say, oh, I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it. But if you question it, are you really terrible at it? Didn't you have successful talks before? What happened to those? Those vanished? Be careful of your thoughts. Watch your thoughts because they're your thoughts. Watch them. We're almost done, guys, because we're only doing halfway today. So let's pick it up. All right. So awareness is the first step to change. We talked about that. Simply noticing mental clutter that starts the decluttering process, right? So example, someone overwhelmed by worry, right? Or their worry list, right? They list their top concerns and they see half of them are outside of their control. That reduces your anxiety immediately. So if you're worried about something, what are you worried about? Okay, calm down. Write it down. Write down what is your worry. Why are you feeling overwhelmed right now? What do you have to do that you weren't able to do? Write it down. List it out, your top concerns. How much of these are in your circle of control? your circle of influence, and how much of these do you have no control over? The things that you have control over, do something about them. Okay? That reduces your anxiety immediately. Immediately. It's a trick. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again. You feel overwhelmed. Get a pen and paper. Write it down. What it is that is troubling you. What can you control? Can you control this? No. Why are you worrying about it? Whatever will be, will be. The things that you can control it. Yes. Then start to work on it. Now, again, practical implication. Begin the day with even 5 minutes of mindful breathing. It becomes addictive, I'll tell you that. So it's going to move to like 30 minutes, right? Use thought replacement. So swap negative thought loops with affirmations. You just replace the thought, right? And keep a mental clutter journal for recurring themes. So if something keeps coming up, write it down, right? You can have a journal that is specifically for mental clutter. Things that keep coming up in your mind, you're becoming aware of it. Write it down. Okay. Next, decluttering your thoughts. So most mental clutter comes from negative thought loops, right? Regrets and worries. Awareness, again, is the first step. Catching thoughts before they spiral, right? Mindfulness and journaling are practical tools to clear the noise. So a clutter-free mind, it allows sharper focus, better decision making, better decision making, and less stress, right? So your thoughts, it shapes your reality, right? And decluttering them will help to shape your life for the better. Real vibes, very informative knowledge. Bless up, real vibes, Sylvie. Good to see you. Bless up, blessings. Yeah, because you know what? We were doing the financial stuff before. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. These are practical things that, you know, as people improve and they build their lives, I don't want people to feel like, oh, I have so much things to do. Oh, I have to know the 6-jar system and I have to put this and I have to put this. No, it's supposed to help you, right? We're all on our own journey. Greetings, TG Media. Greetings. We're all on our own journey. You don't have to go at the speed of anybody else. Once you start the first step, it's fine. You don't have to go at anybody else's speed. It's your life, right? The key to everything is sustainability, right? TG Media might be better at certain things and he might be able to do all this because his children are grown. You might have 4 or 3-year-olds. So it might take a little while for you to massage certain things into your life. But once you start, it's fine, right? Don't compare yourself to other people, right? Next, your mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. Here, artists, we're talking to each other now, right? You have ideas, write it out. That's why you find a lot of artists too spin out or them act crazy. You know why? Because there's no outlet for what it is, the creativity that they have in their mind. And I'm telling you this from experience. No matter what your art is, it could be music, could be writing, it could be anything, performing, anything at all. Your mind is for having ideas, not for holding them. You can't hold so much things in your mind and expect new things to come in and expect to have new, fresh ideas. You cannot. So when you have those new ideas, write it out. Even if you're not going to deal with it today, write it out. Okay? Don't hold on to it. Meaning your thoughts will pile up like clutter in a closet. These are facts. Your thoughts, they will pile up on you. And then you find that you can't sleep and people have anxiety. And then when you go to the doctor and the doctor try to give you a pill, you don't need a pill most of the times. Disclaimer, take your medication if you're prescribed for it. Don't say that Julia told you not to take a medication. I'm not telling you not to take your medication because someone needing the medication, right? But what I'm saying is, right? What I'm saying is try these things. Try these things. Try getting to know yourself more so you can take care of yourself better, right? Write out your things, because these thoughts, they will pile up like clutter, right? And you can't concentrate on anything, or you do everything half-ass. Excuse my language, is that a curse word? Yes. Half behind, right? A busy entrepreneur writes a daily brain dump. You know how much books I go through? Zing J, hi, bless up, bless up, bless up, King J, bless up. You know how much books, notebooks I go through? Holy, right? And it's just go to the dollar store. It don't have to be no fancy journal, just an exercise book, a lined book, right? Write down your daily dump. That reduce anxiety, and it actually spark creativity. It does. It sparks creativity, right? Even as a writer, when people say, well, oh, listen, when people say to me, oh, Julia, how you write that? You know, I have writer's block. You have writer's block. How many bad things have you written? Just two. You don't have writer's block then. You need to just keep writing all the bad stuff out. Write. It's not going to be perfect. Just write. And then the creative ideas will start to juice, will start to flow. Right? That's how it works. It's like these people, what's your opinion on reading books compared to listening to? This is the same thing. Listen, real vibes, I do both. Because you know what? Some people learn best by audio. Some people learn best visually, right? Some people learn best by reading. I love to read from when I was a little girl because that used to help me to go to sleep. So I love to read, right? Sometimes too, if my mind is racing after I write out everything, reading calms me down and I can go to sleep. Audiobooks though, I love them because when I'm driving for a far long journey, real vibes, I listen to the same book that I was reading, and sometimes I pick up something that I didn't pick up while I was reading. And then when I go home, I'm like, wait a second, no, I have to go back to chapter 2 because I never saw this. I never saw this in the book. I read the book 2 times. I never, how is it in the audiobook? It must be it can't be the original. And when I look in the book, Real Vibes, it's right there in the book. My mind went over it. So the more you can have the same information put in a different way, do it. I do both. So I will have a book, right? And honestly, sometimes you don't have the time. Yeah, sometimes you don't have the time to go over everything. And listen, if I don't have the time, can you imagine the people who have children? Can you imagine the people who have families and people have to take care of a husband, people have to take care of a wife? You understand what I'm saying? People on the clock for other people, right? So we have to be gentle with ourselves and just know that, you know what? We want to read, we want to do well, we want to have the information. However you get the information, that's fine. Listen to the audiobooks. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Nothing at all wrong with it. So, you know, don't follow those people who say, oh, you didn't really read because you listened to the audiobook. Who the hell cares what they think? Did you get the information in your mind? Were you able to apply it to your life? Then screw their judgment. There's a reason they make audiobooks. Don't make people snub you out of it. There's some snobbish people that I know that look down on audiobooks. And they think like, oh, you're not an intellectual because you didn't read. Screw you. You got the information inside of your mind. Don't pay them the mind. You make it work for you. I do both because I like to read and I travel on long journeys. So, you know, right. Don't make people tell you that foolishness. Anyhow, right. So write down a brain dump. Right. So uncluttered thoughts, it creates space for clarity and peace. It's true. You need that space. You need space. Right? So chaos in the mind, it spills over into your life decisions. Yes. A lot of those people who make bad decisions because their mind is chaotic. And why? Because they surround themselves with chaotic people. Right? Right? And the people always come in and telling them this and telling them that, and block that out, man. You can't be taking on so much things and want clarity and peace. You think other people are going to give you peace when you can't even give yourself peace? Keep trying. I love to see that. Right? Chaos in the mind, it spills over into life decisions. Clarity within, it guides clarity outside. And now sometimes people will see that bad. People will, because they're not used to people who are clear. So they will see it as you being rude. Even how nice you've been to them and you've been very accommodating to them. And when you say to them, listen, this is my boundary. I don't want this. Why? What do you mean by why? I'm pretty clear. This is not what I want. I'm clear of how I want you to address me. I'm clear about this. This is what it is. Why are you asking me why? I don't want to deal with that. I have other things to think about. You should too. Right? So be clear. And sometimes when you're clear, you turn out to be direct. And you have to sometimes massage people and say, listen, I'm not being rude. I'm just very direct because I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I don't want. I know exactly what works for me. I know exactly what don't work for me. It's up to you to tell me what works for you. I can't tell you that. But don't be mad at me because I'm clear, right? Clarity is important. That way people don't haul and pull you in their direction and you don't end up doing what other people want. And you understand? Lead yourself. Okay? Be clear. Now, Miss Bluefire's notes. Clutter begins in the mind. Everything, guys, begins in the mind, not the physical world. And that's what people don't understand. A lot of people, they think that, oh, let me sit in front of this wood. Give me fire, and then I will put the wood inside. No, you have to put the wood there first, light it, and then you get the fire and you get the warmth. You don't sit like, who does that? You sit down in front of an empty coal stove and just say, oh, give me fire, and then I'll feed you wood. No, there's certain things that come before. Everything starts in the mind. The man who made this fan that I love, he had it in his mind first. He's going to make a fan. He's going to need these weaving things. He's going to need this red thread. This is how he marked it out in his mind first before he started to make it. Everything starts with thought. That is first cause. First cause. Okay? So clutter too begins in the mind. And then you see it in people's physical world. So when you meet somebody that is never together, dog hair all over them, untidy, always in a frizzy, everything on just them can't find anything, it's a reflection of what's in here, right? They're all over the place in here. Okay, these are facts. If you don't capture and organize your thoughts, they will circle you endlessly and it will keep you stuck. That's why some people, they're always in loops. They're always in cycle and say, oh, why am I keep going over this? They keep going, I keep doing this, I keep doing. Yeah, because of the fact that you're not learning the lesson. So you don't learn the lesson, the universe is going to keep presenting you the same thing. These are facts. And then even after you learn the lesson, the universe is going to present you with it again to see if you actually did learn the lesson. That's how you break things, break chains, right? Journaling and mindfulness are not optional extras, right? They're tools for survival in this world because this world is full of stimulation. Everything is stimulating. You go on TikTok, you can scroll forever. Then something bing, YouTube, then something bing again, Instagram, then something else bing again. Everything is overstimulation. Then there's a dance talk, then there's this, then there's this. Bombarded, right? You need to survive in this world. So you need to be clear and know your path and focus. Okay? When you declutter your thoughts, you can take control of your life's direction. Yes, Merkaba, I know you know. Right? I know you know. Right? Understanding thought clutter. Right? And you can just tell the people who have them life together. Right? I'm not saying too much, but even visiting my friend Merkaba, right? Neat, car neat, everything is supposed to, everything what you need to find is where he's supposed to find it. There's no whole heap of mess or nothing like that. Everything is just neat, clear. You can see the thought. You can see that him just have a clear thought, right? What's in the car is supposed to be in the car, right? A lot of people don't do clutter. I don't do clutter. Don't give me no holy damn clutter. I go to them always want to give you a pen or a water bottle. How much pens and water bottles do you need? Like, really? What are you collecting? It's not mad. It's madness. You just add clutter to your life. Like, get rid of it. Anyway, understanding thought clutter, right? So negative thought loops, regrets, and worries, they cycle on autopilot, right? And that cause stress. You're always thinking negative, and one negative thought just bring another negative thought, and that just bring, because you know why? You know why? What I always say, vibration. Vibration is everything. You start to have like a negative thought, negative vibes. Then you start to think another negative thought. Listen, you cannot expect to think terrible things and feel good. How you talk to yourself matters. People, my people that I love so much. How you talk to yourself matters. Okay? How you talk to yourself matters. All of these negative thoughts, another is going to have a negative, you're going to feel bad. Of course, you're going to feel bad. You keep talking so negative to yourself and saying terrible things and thinking terrible things. You expect to feel good? You expect to have a great day? You're not going to have a great day. You're going to have a terrible day because you're thinking terrible. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is complain. I can't be around people like that, you know. I cannot. Like, I'm allergic to them. Right? Gratitude. Gratitude is important. Right? So, key insights and quote. You don't have to believe every thought you have. Okay? Sometimes you know that this is how I'm feeling right now. And if you find somebody that you trust, you can say, listen, Merkaba, I'm thinking this, you know. You think I'm being sensitive about this? Say, no, I don't think you're being sensitive, but I want you to be objective and look at it from your point of view, because I trust your mind and I trust that you have my best interest at heart. I think this right now, and I know it's because probably I'm feeling this right now. I may not be right. Can you look at this for me and tell me what you think? That is the beauty of having friendship. Like, that's what friendship is. People that you can trust, and you can trust their objectivity. And you can trust that they'll tell you the truth. So when you're wrong, you're wrong. And when you're right, you're right. Right? They give you a different perspective, because perspective matters. So you can't trust every thought that you have. I'm not saying don't trust yourself. You trust yourself, yes, but you keep in mind that, okay, I am tired. I do want to chop her head off. But at the same time, it's because I'm tired and because I know I don't really like her. So am I overreacting in this situation? So you talk to yourself like this first before you go and cuss somebody out and then just blow up everything. You don't do that. Right? Take a breath. Don't just react. Right? Great. Next. Begin your day with 5 minutes of mindful breathing. I said that before. And the more you do it, you're going to grow into 30 minutes because you're going to love it. Right? And replace negative thoughts with affirmations. We talked about that already. And keep a mental journal. Declutter your obligations. Here's a big one. We're almost finished, guys. Recognize obligation clutter. Remember, we're talking about doing what's best for you. Every yes that you say to people every yes that you say to something that is unimportant is a no to something important. Why? Because you are one person. You have one body, you have one mind, and you only have this one now. So if I say yes to you about going to this party at 8 o'clock, that means I'm saying no to my spiritual practice at 8 o'clock. Because at 8 o'clock, I have to be there with you at this party. So this is how you declutter and look at your obligations again. My grandmother used to say something. And my grandmother was very, very, she was so wise. My mother's mother, right? She used to say, not every bell ring you have to jump. These are facts. Right? These are facts. Not everything is going to be for you. Some things you can say yes to, but just know that you're saying no to something else. That's just the way it is. Right? Your calendar is a reflection of your values. What is it that you value? Non-negotiable for me is exercise. I need my exercise to deal with the stress and to continue with the weight that I want, that's a non-negotiable. I have to do it. Okay? My rest is important to me. My work and committing to my team, that's important to me. So you look at my calendar, that's you see a lot of things repetitive, right? It's a reflection of what's important to me. Not every music play you dance. That's right, TG Media. That's right. Not every music play you dance. I don't dance a certain song either. Right? So overcommitment, it leads to guilt and exhaustion. You tell everybody, yes, I have to do this. Listen, I'm a part of Rotary. I'm also a Mason. I'm also in a lodge. I can't make every event. I would love to, because a lot of them are very fun, right? But I have other things. I have one body, right? So there are certain things, I make time for certain things that are people that are important to me. Even if it's just 2 minutes, I call for say, yeah, I'm just checking on you to make sure, say, all right, you're good? Okay, cool. And I can go just to let the person know. But let me tell you something, my best friends, I don't have many friends, but my best friends, sometimes I don't talk to them for months. Sometimes even a whole year. And then when we talk back, it's like we're back together. You know why? Because they have their own lives. They're on an upward trajectory in their life. I understand that. And they understand that I'm on an upward trajectory in my life. So that we don't, and as soon as we talk back to each other, it's like yesterday. Like we never left. Right? So look at your commitments. You over commit yourself, you're going to start to get resentful. That's the people pleasing thing that is like you have to really deal with it in yourself. Like that people pleasing thing is crazy. You will never do anything for yourself, and you will be so resentful of people soon, right? So distinguish between your values aligned commitments and your obligations from guilt or social pressure. Now sometimes this have to do with your family as well, right? A lot of times it have to do with your family. Okay, a lot of times they will have obligations for you to do and guilt you when you don't do it. You have to make your own priorities and make your own boundaries. Okay? Volunteering too much, it drains you, right? It drains your business, right? It drains your family time. I love to volunteer. I do volunteer work because I like to give back, but not at the cost of me. Not at the cost of me. Here's another thing. Well, there's something that my father teach me that keep me all the way through life. Here's something my father teach me. And I'm going to make, I'm really going to make that book of all the things that my father taught me. Never be so loyal to anybody that you what did he say? Never be so loyal to anybody or anything that you betray yourself. That's what it is. Never be so loyal to anybody or to anything that you betray yourself. Okay? Never, ever. Always look at the cost of what you're doing. Always. And the things that you should be loyal to will never ever come at the cost of you betraying yourself. The things that you should be loyal to will never come at the cost of you betraying yourself. That means also your values. And it takes some time to think about it because it's real talk. Okay? Now, practical steps. Let's pick it up. Conduct an obligation audit. Write it down. It's going to be different for you. If you have children, you are obligated to them. Okay? So you have a certain things, a list of commitment, PTA meeting. You have to go swim lessons. You have to do this. Rate and align with your values. Your value of being a great parent, super dad or super mom, great, it align. But you also have a business to run, so you have to look at your obligations. So maybe that means that you don't make it to the church cake sale. Will they die? Somebody else can make the cake? Or is it that you're just going to feel guilty because the people are going to make you feel guilty because, oh, brother TG Media, I didn't see you at the cake sale yesterday. Yeah, because I have a life and I have children to take care of. Did you guys die? You sell cake? Great. And that will make it every time. Don't be afraid to tell people no and do what's best for yourself. This is part of the strictness that you need to be effective. It's great to be nice, I'm a nice person. Anybody meet me, and the problem is a lot of you people met me socially, so you can see me as being soft and nice and loving, and that's who I am. That is who I am. But in order to be that way, I'm a pit bull when it comes on to certain other things. I'll chop off your head real quick, right? That is discipline, right? Teaching me to say 100%, yeah. So make sure your obligations, they align with your values. Okay, make sure they align with your values. And then people will be able to trust and know. Like my sisters from Eastern Star, from our lodge, they know that if I can't make it, I can't make it. But when I show up, I show up fully. If Julia says she's going to do something, she's going to do it 100%. But if she can't do it, don't bother her. That's the reputation that I have, because people know me, right? So you can use polite refusal and say, I'd love to, but I can't fully commit right now. And that's fine. Right? And schedule non-negotiable personal time before other commitments. That's what I do. I need my personal time. I need to swim. I swim. I do what I need to do. You see what I'm saying? Because I need to be able to pour back in me for me to pour to you. If I didn't take care of myself, I wouldn't be able to have this right here now and talk to you about all these things. I wouldn't be able to give this to you. If I'm run down and don't take care of myself, don't eat properly, don't exercise, don't read, then I have nothing to give you. What I have to give you? I come here empty-handed just like a beggar. No, that's not me. Always add value. How? Because I put it back to myself. I want you guys to learn that. And if you're going to do a business, you're going to have to learn that. Or your business is going to run you dry and somebody else is going to steal it from you. Come back to this and think about it if you want to. But I'm telling you, no lies. Next. Again, the points. Many commitments, they come from saying yes without reflection. Stop saying yes to everything. Somebody asks you because you like them, yes. No. Say you're going to look at it and see if you can make it. Don't promise. Don't tell them yes and then you don't show up. And then have an excuse. Because then they're going to say like, oh, our word don't mean anything. Don't do that. Tell them straight up, I don't know if I can make it. If I can make it, I will make it. Right? Obligations, they pile up and they cause you guilt. Right? And then you're going to be exhausted. And when you can't make it, you feel, and when you make it, when you don't want to be there, your resentment. Listen. Again, with the wisdom from the Bible. When they say the Lord loves a cheerful giver, you think it only means material things? No. Giving of your time and your energy too. So don't go there and you don't want to be there and you're huffing and puffing and you're making the people food with a bad attitude. Don't make no food with a bad attitude. If you're going to make food, make it lovingly. Make it with a good spirit. Don't put that negative energy in people's food or put that negative energy in what you're doing. Don't do it. If you can't do it with a full spirit and you can't do it wholeheartedly, don't do it. Honestly, don't do it. I'll teach you that another time. Anyway, let's continue with this. Right. So declutter. You distinguish between your obligations aligned with values versus those from guilt or social pressure. Now look at your obligations and say everything that you have to do during the week. How much of it is actually aligned with your values? All that time that you're spending doing these things, how much of it is aligned with your values? How much of it is from social pressure? And how much of it is actually from guilt? Sort it out. I can't sort it out for you. Take control of your life if you really want to improve it. That's the only way, right? Again, every yes to something unimportant is a no to something important. The time and your energy is finite. Your time and energy is finite. We all have 24 hours in the day. These are facts, right? So misplaced obligations, they will steal from your priorities. What are your priorities? What do you want to accomplish before next year? What do you want to accomplish now so you can be in the good graces for next year? That's your priorities, right? So volunteering for too many committees, that can drain your energy from building a business or nurturing a family. You have so much, those people, them busy as a bee, busy as a bee, busy, and not effective. Jumping from here to here to here to here, and not effective. Right? Focused energy. That's fire. Fire is focused energy. Right? So, yes, your calendar, we went through that. How you spend time shows what truly matters to you, not what we claim to matter. If someone says family is a priority, if they say that, but yet still they spend all their free time on their work emails, really? Watch what people do. That's misalignment. That's misalignment. Me personally, I'll give my time to my friends to help my friends, but once I realize that our values don't align, what am I giving? This is my time, like, right? Or I feel like as if my time is not respected or my presence isn't respected. What am I putting it there for? You didn't realize how valuable my time is. Now you do. Okay, practical implication. Do an obligation audit. With every commitment, rate its alignment with your values. Everything that you commit to, rate it with your values. Right? Right. Declutter your relationships. We're almost there. Almost there, guys. Relationships, they can bring you joy or they can drain your energy. These are facts. I know you know this. We're adults. Right? Toxic, one-sided, or mismatched relationships, they create mental clutter. Okay? One-sided or toxic or mismatched relationships, they create mental clutter because you're always thinking, oh, I did this for them and they don't even do this for me. However, that's mismatched. Healthy boundaries, they're essential for peace of mind. You must have healthy boundaries. And sometimes people don't have their own boundaries, so they try to test yours. But let them leave that in their lives. Right? For you and for your life, this is what the admission is. Right? So you choose your connections intentionally. Quality over quantity. That's me. Quality over quantity. I don't need a bag of people. I do not want a bag of people around. As a matter of fact, because I'm so in tune to people's energy, it will drain me. Okay? Choose connections intentionally. Quality over quantity. Quality people over quantity. Toxic, one-sided, or mismatched relationships create mental clutter. That is what destroys your peace. Guard your peace. Guard your peace. Okay? Quote 1. The people you spend time with, they will either lift you higher or they will pull you down. These are facts. The people you spend time with, they will either lift you up higher or pull you down. Sometimes you have the best intentions and you want because you want people to be in your life, and you see yourself lifting them up. That doesn't mean that they're lifting you back up. You have to be able. You have to know when to cut bait. Okay, like Kenny Rogers said, you got to know when to fold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Right? So these are facts. Right? You can't be the only one uplifting. When you start to see people starting to tear you down, abort. So our environment shapes us. Toxic people, they spread negativity. Growth-minded people, they inspire progress. Right? And that is why I said to you when I started this, when I started this session, this channel is not for everybody. We don't want toxic people. We want leaders here. I don't want any followers. I don't want followers. Even if the leaders are watching this on the playback, because I'm seeing my playback go up, and the subscriber count grows slowly, right? Regardless of if you guys they are here now, you don't see the live pack, that's fine, right? The type of people, my target market is not to everybody. It's for people who take their life seriously, want to improve, want to start a business or improve their business, and are serious about their money and are serious about their wealth. Okay, so that's the target that will come to me, because that's who I am. Okay, right? So that's the type of people that you want. People will either lift you up or they will pull you down. So that's why I said we don't want any pick-me's over here. We don't want people in the chat bringing down the panel or not uplifting each other. If you're not here to uplift us and edify us, then why are you here? Because that's why I'm here. Right. So spending time with a supportive mentor or versus a friend who constantly complains. I don't have friends who complain, but a friend who constantly complains. One fuels ambition, the other one drains you. And you can know, guys, pay attention. Like, not only pay attention to your life, it starts with little things. Pay attention to how you feel after you talk to people. There are some people, God bless them, even if they're in your family. After you talk to them, you feel like, Jesus Christ, drain the hell out of me. Right? Or every time it's always an argument, or the person is combative. Right? Sometimes it's a spirit, and I don't want to tie too much of the spirituality in it, but sometimes some of these people have spirits, argument, that like they have certain things on them, like it's just they cannot be satisfied. They have monitoring spirits on them, or they have to pry, or whatever you call it. It's draining. And they'll be the first one to say, oh, I'm just curious. No, you're not curious. You're draining. That's what you are. If you're curious, you'll wait and you'll find the answers as you go along. Right? That's what I had to tell somebody the other day. I was like, you ask so many questions, you must think I trust you. Or you ask me so much questions. Oh, Miss Julie, I'm just curious. Well, temper your curiosity. Control your mind. All things in time. Right? All things in time. Sometimes people don't know that they do it, so you have to tell them. But because I'm clear, it comes off as being rough. You know what? I'm pretty nice most of the time. So if you have to take a little roughness, that's fine. Right? Next. You can't change people, but you can change how much access they have to your life. These are facts. You can't change people. Don't go around trying to change people. And this is why I say, like, if you really get serious about improving your life, you stop trying to change people, because you realize how hard it is to actually improve your own life. You realize how hard it is for you to even change yourself for the better, for things that you know you should be doing. You realize how hard that is. So you don't try to change anybody else. The people who try to change other people, they don't work on themselves. Trust me. It's a distraction. They're not working on themselves, so they're trying to change other people. Because if you actually start to work on yourself, you're so consumed. You're so consumed with getting better and your mistakes and where you slip and getting back up again, that you have no time to be actually thinking about what the other person doing. Watch for that. Okay? It's all an inside thing, right? Boundaries are not about controlling others, but they're about protecting your own mental space. That's what boundaries are. They're about protecting your own mental space. Okay? Example, you limit calls with gossiping relatives. Like, they're your relatives, that's fine. You tolerate them, that's fine. You love them, whatever. But I can't deal with that right now. I can't talk to you right now. I'm busy, right? Or put your phone on do not disturb so they can't even get you. You have to do what you have to do, right? They'll find somebody else to call. Trust me, you're not the only person. There's a lot more. Listen, this world is not short of gossips or people that want to waste time. Let them go find them. They'll find them, trust me. Right? Next. Conduct a relationship audit. I do this all the time. Look at the people in your life. Who energizes you and who drains you? Anytime I talk to certain people, I get it's like a lift or I feel better. Right? All these people, Brandon, when I talk to him, I feel clearer. Merkaba, when I talk to him, I feel more at peace. Right? I feel actually listened to and know that this is my friend who actually care about what I'm saying. Even if he doesn't say anything, because he knows when I just need to be listened to and when I need advice. TG Media is the same thing. Gary is the same thing. Right? There are certain people that you talk to and you just feel clearer. And you don't have to talk to them again for months. Not saying that you use them, but it's just what is necessary. But when they're ready for you, you do them the same favor. You plan to uplift people. There's some people you talk to and it's just like you feel the battery just out. Or listen, if somebody call your phone and you look at it, you go, Jesus Christ. If that pushes you through that, don't answer the phone. It's your phone. You pay for your bill. What are you obligated for? You pay your bill. Don't answer it. Right? Sometimes it's people that's close to you. You have to be able to just know that you're just not going to emotionally react. Right? Like I was talking to my friend about her mom. Right? And every time she talks to her mom, is like some more drama. I said, well, it's your mother. It's one mother you have. So, you know, you can answer the phone, but just tell her you only have 10 minutes to deal with this right now. And just don't deal with it internally. Just make her talk. Right? Make her talk. You have to find ways to make it work. All right. So invest more in high value relationships. Me, I usually, if it's a friend, I invest a lot in that until I realize that it's not something that I need to be investing this much energy in. Right? Positive peers and supportive friends. That's what is going to help you. Okay, that's what's going to help you. Right. So many people, they chase too many goals at once, and that spreads your energy thin. You're doing too much things. You're doing too much. Right? You're learning French. You're learning piano. You're building a business. You're doing business. No. So then what actually gets fully you? What fully gets you? Right? Sometimes your goals can tie in together. So many people, they change so many goals at once. That spreads your energy thin. So goal clutter, it leads to overwhelm and unfinished projects. Them starts, you know the people. Come on, you know the people. Them always starting something and never finish it. And you can see too when you sometimes you go around them. This thing half bill, that 3/4 bill, that's there. The screws them still there. Never finish anything properly because the mind all over the place. Right? Decluttering your goals, it means prioritizing. Prioritizing what's important. Keep only the few things that align with your deepest values. Okay? Clear vision. That's what will give it to you. Clear vision. It brings sharper focus and sustainable motivation. There's a lot of people who say, oh, I want to start this. Oh, I want to start this. And them want to. And they never start anything. Them procrastinate. You know why? Because them don't have the energy, because they're just scattered all over the place. Goals must be specific. Your goals must be measurable. And it must be tied to a meaning. Not just should. Not just, oh, I should. Should is not something that will keep you in discipline. I should. No. Make it specific. Make it measurable. And make it have a why. That's why there's another book we're going to do. I think I'm going to do this one after this one. I'm not too sure. But it's called Start With Why. The why is the most important thing, because the why is what will keep you going. Not just should. I should. The why. The why is important. That is what gives you meaning. That is what is going to give meaning. Okay. Next, you can do everything, but you can do anything, but not everything. These are facts. You can do anything, but not everything. Miss Bluefire's meaning. So this statement emphasizes that human potential is vast, but our time, our energy, and our attention, those are limited resources. right? So trying to juggle too many ambitions, right? It makes you mediocre across all of them instead of being a master in one. So decluttering your goals means saying no to many good opportunities so you can say yes to the right ones. Okay? You have to be able to say yes to the right things, the right things. Now, figuring out what the right thing is for you, that's the key. I can't do it for you. The right thing for me may not be the right thing for you at this time. Okay? So, this is where self reflection comes in. And this is where you need to sit and figure out what your own priorities are and what your own goals are. Not the shoulds, but the whys. Real life example, an ambitious young professional might try to build a business, right? You might try to build a business and then you're training for a marathon and you're also learning a new language and you also want to grow your social media brand. Doing all of that at one time, the result, you're burnt out, you're scattered, right? Your progress is all over the place, right? So by focusing on building the business first, right? Then you can establish financial stability, and later on, you have the time and the resources to pursue your fitness and your language learning without stress, right? So it all comes back to sustainability. For me, the fitness goes hand in hand with the business because they help each other. Because I get to think and not think while I'm working out and yogaing and taking care of my body because I know for like umpteen hours I'm going to be behind the computer or I need to be able to have my energy up. Like this sitting here in this chair for this long is the most uncomfortable thing for me because I like to keep moving. And you can see I can't even keep myself still in the chair, right? But to batter that, I swim 4 times a week. I swim all the time. Okay? I work out all the time because I know I'm going to be sitting down. When I do certain things, I have to force myself to sit down in front of that computer. Okay? So you have to make your life work for you. What worked for me won't work for you. Right? So clutter doesn't only show up in your homes and in your thoughts, it shows up in your ambition. You ever meet those people that say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, no. It not come yet. He said, didn't you say you wanted to do this? Yeah. And then they find all type of excuses. Failure to launch. Look it up. Failure to launch. Right? They're carrying so many goals around in their head. Right? And it gives them this psychic pressure. Right? They always have the pressure on him. So much pressure and they do nothing. When you look at come out of your emotions. Come out of your emotions. Look at the facts. What did you accomplish? What did you accomplish? Half of that. Okay. But look how much stress you're under because everything is in your head. Right? The problem is when you chase everything, you catch nothing. These are facts. You're chasing this, you're chasing that, you chase Tom, Dick, and Harry. Want all, lose all. This is an old Jamaican saying, my Canadian and American friends. Want all, lose all. It's just a very, very true thing. You're chasing everything and you get nothing. Or you get less than. Right? That's why the author said, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that's why I said to the hater, listen, nobody is good at everything, but everybody is good at something. Stop being a hater and find out what you're good at and focus. Sometimes you have to be nice to your haters, you know, right? Because a lot of times they're your biggest admirers, but they just don't know how to deal with it. So they end up hating on you. When really and truly, they're just a fan. I'm telling you from experience. Sometimes your haters are just fans. They just don't know how to process the information. And because they're lazy, so they end up hating on you. But they're really just your fans. Why? Because they keep watching your page all the time. Like, girl, you don't hate me. Or guy, you don't hate me. You actually do like me. Let me explain something to you. Let me give you some grace. Nobody is good at everything. You may not be good at what I'm good at. That's fine. But you're good at something. Find it and flourish. There's enough here for all of us. Be nice to your haters, people. Right? So here's the takeaway. Choose the goals that actually move the needle in your life. Right? So instead of pursuing 10 scattered ambition, I want to do, identify 2 or 3 that align directly with your core values and your future vision. Identify. First of all, in order to do that, you have to be clear on what your future vision is, right? And what your values are. If you're not clear about that, then you're going to be hauled and pulled everywhere. Everybody can take you everywhere. Okay? I want you to think about sunlight. And I want you to think about me, fire. Okay? Imagine your energy is like sunlight. It's scattered. When sunlight is scattered, it warms everything. That's fine. That's fine. But if you focus sunlight through a magnifying glass, and I've done that many times to catch things afire, right? It creates fire. When my parents, because remember when I was young, I was a little pyromaniac. That's why the blue fire comes in, right? That's why my nickname was Blue Fire since I was a girl. And I'm still a bit of a pyro. I love fire. I always have fire on me, right? When they take away matches from me, I found a magnifying glass, and Jamaica is hot. And there's enough dry bush. So I found a way to make the fire. But this is the principle, right? Focused intensity makes fire, right? Focused intensity, right? So if I was here with you today and I'm thinking about the things that I need to pack for tomorrow, right, TG Media? If I was here for you today and I'm thinking about the things that I have to do tomorrow, I'm not really here with you. Right now, I'm here with you. When the live finish, then I go and pack what I need to pack for tomorrow, and I go and make my chicken wings. But I can't be thinking about that while I'm here with you, because I need to be focused on you. You deserve me, fully me. You deserve all of me. This is what you get as my audience, right? So focus sunlight through. Hi, Disa, nice. Hi, Disa. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful avatar. Beautiful. I love it. I know you're beautiful too. Nice to see you, my dear. Yeah, so today we have the class because tomorrow I have a wedding show. So I don't want to miss you guys 1 week. So I said, you know what? Let me do it on Saturday. And then next week, Disa, nice. We're going to have the second part of the show on Sundays. So we're going to go back to normal programming next week, right? Nice to see you, my queen. Nice to see you, right? So focused sunlight to the magnifying glass, it creates fire, right? So you declutter your goals and you create fire, right? And that's the power to transform your life with focused intensity. Focus, right? Focus. Right. So the people you spend time with, they will either lift you higher or they will pull you down. Okay? You can't change people, but you can change how much access they have to your life. Let them call you whatever they want to call you. They will call you a B. Listen, they will call me so much. Call me B. I was the nicest, sweetest thing until all of a sudden I don't do what they want. No, I'm a B. Come to the territory. Who cares? Call me witch. Oh, you want to test it? Let's see. Can you sleep? Right? So you don't pay people any mind, right? Practical relationship tips. You conduct a relationship audit, right? Figure it out. Who energizes you and who drains you? Give the people who drain you as little time as possible, right? And set clear boundaries with guilt. Even if it's somebody that you respect, right? In your teaches me to stop it. No, I'm telling you the truth. People always you can't worry what people say, because the same people will say yay today, they will say nay tomorrow. And that's what I always say, TG Media. You never make people compliments get to your head. Never. Because their criticisms will kill you. Right? You can't build your life off of what people think, because people are fleeting. Once you can live with yourself and you can look in the mirror and say, I am pleased. And you can lay your head down on the pillow and say, I am rested. I did what I needed to do. I did what I came to do. I conquered. Who cares about the rest? Your business? Listen. So look at the people who drain you and look at the people who uplift you. You do a relationship audit. You have to, right? You have to. Okay. So you set clear boundaries without guilt. So even if it's someone that you respect in your family and you know this person drain you, you say, okay, this person going to call me. I'm only going to give them 10 minutes. That's the max that I'm going to give to them. Guess what? You still made them feel respected because you answer the phone. You still made them feel validated because it's your family, right? But your cutoff time is 10 minutes. You have to do that, right? So invest in high value relationships, right? Mentors and supportive friends. That's where you invest. And declutter your goals. Let's pick it up. We're almost finished. Points. Decision fatigue is a major source of mental clutter. Expound here for them on discipline. Yes, decision fatigue. Remember, I tell you that sometimes, especially when I was going through what I was going through, I had decision fatigue, where I'm just like, listen, don't ask me what I want to eat. Just choose something. I don't care. Because I was making decisions all day. It's like, I just can't, my brain, I can't function anymore. Decision fatigue, right? That is a major source of mental clutter. Sometimes you get tired of making decisions. You do, right? And that's where sometimes it is so great to have a good partner, right? Or a good person in your life that would be able to take care of certain things for you. And when you say what you want to eat, honey, I don't know, I don't care. I'm just hungry. I can't think anymore. And they understand, right? So expound here for them on discipline. What I meant to say was, when you have certain things disciplined, like Gary, I was telling you before, Gary him, he doesn't have to make a lot of decisions in the mornings because he has his system. He wake up in the morning, right away, this, that, I have to get this out, I have to get that, I have to get that, I have to get cereal out, I have to do this, I have to feed my son, I have to do this, right? That is discipline, so he doesn't have to think about it. Like me, as soon as I wake up, get up, brush my teeth, get myself together, say my prayers, my gym clothes is right there, put it on. I don't have to think about it. Get up, put it on, out the door, come back, get myself together, right? So I don't have to stay there making decisions, right? You plan things from before, and when you have the discipline, it's like rote to you. I don't have to go to the gym and say, oh, what am I working on today? Oh, how long am I going to spend on it? No, I said I'm going to spend 40 minutes on the Stairmaster because it's a Wednesday. I don't have to think about it. I go there a certain time. Okay, Stairmaster empty. 40 minutes. I don't think about it because that's what the discipline is, right? You have all of these small decisions that's actually messing up your productivity because you don't plan. Okay, because you don't plan. So everyday choices consume cognitive energy. This is cognitive energy, right? And it reduces your focus on important matters. When you have important matters to deal with, you can only handle so much. So I tell you, you have to be careful, right? So here it is: simplifying routines, creating systems. Systems matter. Automating trivial decisions, it frees mental space. Let me give you an example of this. One name, my guy there who did Apple. God, how did I forget his name? What's his name? Who died? Who did Apple? You know who I'm talking about. I can't believe I forgot his name. You see, so much things in my head. Anyhow, he used to wear the same clothes every day. Not the same clothes, but he never used to have to decide what outfit he's going to wear. He used to just wear a black turtleneck and black pants, right? And that was his whole wardrobe. So he didn't have to go through any decisions in picking out what he wants to wear. That's him. It works for him. That's fine. That's not going to work for me, right? But I will pick out my clothes before an event, so I don't have to think about it, right? But way before. Okay. So Steve Jobs, right? So not every decision requires deliberation. right? And you prioritize decisions that truly, truly matter, right? And that's when you save time. Like, don't waste time, people. You don't have that much time. So simplicity in decisions, it breeds clarity in action. Steve Jobs, that's right. Thanks, TG Media, right? So Miss Bluefire's meaning, when you simplify your choices, your mind spends less energy on trivialities, on things that don't matter, right? And more on high value decisions, right? Because complexity, it breeds confusion. Procrastination, it makes you procrastinate, and it makes you stress. If everything is so complex, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this, and you have to do that. Simplify your life. Be disciplined. Have your routine so you don't have to think about it, so that you free up enough mental space for the things that you actually need to think about. So when the big crash comes and some real stuff, fire comes, you have the mental clarity and the wherewithal to say, okay, I can deal with this. Why? Because you're not cluttered with a lot of confusion and a lot of stupidity. Here it is, I wrote it down. Steve Jobs famously wore a uniform of black turtlenecks and black jeans to reduce daily clothing decisions, right? This small simplification, it freed his mental energy for productive innovation. That works for him, right? For me, it might be something else. He might have to think about what he's going to eat. I don't have to, because I plan my things out, right? But I plan my wardrobe out too, so I don't have to think about it. But for me, planning wardrobe is a part of creativity. It's a part of my taste. So that's something that I'm not going to give up. But it does not clutter my mind. It actually makes me more creative. So that's the importance, right? Complexity breeds confusion. I like that. It's true. These are nice. The truth is simple. Things are simple. And here is another thing that I learned from my mentor, These are nice. I'm glad that you repeated that. Tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me now, I got to go. My mentor is like that. When she said, she talk about with sales, and she says, tell me yes or tell me no, but tell me now, because I got to go. These are facts. Don't put the him and the ha and the oh, I have to see and I have to see. What do you want? Like, what do you want? I don't have time for this. What do you want? Be clear. Be clear. Right? Okay, I'll tell you one thing, this is nice, and TG. We're doing some hiring, right? We're doing some hiring and we're looking at people who we're going to hire. So we kind of rented out this space that had like a deli, right? And some of the new potential hires were there and they didn't know who we were. So we were in the line. So this one man was in front of us, right? First of all, the line was long. So he had ample time to think about what type of sandwich he wanted. He had at least 10 minutes to think about, to look at the board. The board is right there. Look at the board and decide what it is that you feel for to eat. The line was long. He reached up to the line, to the front. These are nice. TG, another 10 minutes. I almost melted. Like I was like, I'm not even gonna get anything. I came out of the line like in 3 minutes. And I was like, my friend, she was gonna stand, say, if you're gonna stand here, that's fine. I'm going to sit here. If you can't get me a muffin, get me a muffin. I'm gonna sit here and just check my emails because I can't deal with this. This guy was in there after all this time. He's still there, him and high. Oh, so I can have this, and rye bread, and do I want ranch? Do I want bacon? And I was just like, clearly he never get hired. Because to me, I'm thinking, my God, if you're spending so much time on this unimportant decision that you could have made, and you guys think it's just a simple thing, you think it's just being strict. It's not. First of all, the line was long. You could have taken all that time to look at the board instead of chatting with this person beside you. Look at the board and see what you're going to get, so you don't inconvenience the people who are behind you. The line is already long. So that showed me, A, you don't have any kind of self-awareness. B, you don't have no consideration because the line already long. There's people behind you, right? And 3, you don't know how to make a decision fast or fast enough. You ruminate over the unimportant things. He spent another 5 minutes there ruminating about what sauce he wanted on his sandwich. I couldn't believe it. So when he show up in the meeting room for his interview, I did look at his resume, but it wasn't going to be a good fit at all. And it was not a matter of me being annoying, but there are certain things that you can look at and you can see, right? No consideration, lack of empathy, no consideration for the people behind you, and you're spending all of this time on this one decision of sauce on your sandwich. Like, how can I trust you to make quick decisions properly? No, man, right? And he was sloppy anyway because he had stuff all over him shirt. But regardless, right? So these are the things that you look for and you can see, right? Right? Simplify your choices. Simplify. Because you can't hold so much things in your head. You're going to be darting from this to this to this to this to this, right? And you're not going to be an effective person. Be effective, right? And be clear about what you want. Lack of clarity, waste time every time. So Miss Julia's notes, every day we make hundreds of small decisions. Yes. From what to eat, exactly his attitude. And he didn't care, TG Meter. He didn't care that there was a big long line behind him, right? And he was still goofing off and laughing as a big grown man, not bigger than me, much older than both of us, right? It's like, definitely not a good fit at all. Anyhow, every day we make hundreds of small decisions, from what we eat to what we wear to what emails to answer first. So these, they add up. And sometimes I do get decision fatigue. I do, right? So it's silently draining your brain. So the author urges us to simplify or automate low value decisions, right? Exactly. He had to go, right? These are nice. So you simplify low value decisions. You go into the gym, you just have your shoes there. You have your black tights, your black shirt. Simple, right? When I go to the gym, I don't know how the girls do it with the dress up and the fancy. That's not me. That's for them. That's fine. That's not for me. Me, I just wear black t-shirt and black tights, and I have my running shoes, right? I make sure I'm covered. I don't understand the people who go to the gym half naked, because to me that's like gross, because all these people sweat on the equipment and it's touching your skin, like, oh. And you're not going there to look nobody. I'm there. I have my headphones in. I'm in my zone. Workout. Bam. Out. Right? So low value decisions. Right? So it's not about laziness. It's about protecting your brain power. Right? You need your brain power for decisions that truly change your life and for the things that's going to come up, especially if you're a business owner. Little fires are going to happen, and you have to be able to be calm, breathe, and deal with it effectively. You can't do that if you're tired. You can't. And these are nice too. Sometimes too, somebody will ask me something. I say, you know what? Let me rest and I'll answer that decision. I'll answer that tomorrow, because I don't trust myself to give you an answer right now because I'm tired. Self-awareness. I'm self-aware. I know that I'm tired and I'm hungry right now. So I'm not in the best place to deal with this decision. Is it necessary, like we need it right now, or can it wait till tomorrow? It can wait till tomorrow. There's no fire, there's no blood. Great. Tomorrow I'll deal with it. Because I want to make sure that I'm in the right space of mind to actually be effective in what it is that I'm deciding. Right. Too many goals spread your energy thin. So you're juggling too many things, as we said before, right? You can do anything, but not everything, right? Focusing on your business growth rather than simultaneously pursuing unrelated goals, right? That increases your success, right? Sometimes your goals link together. Pardon me. Sometimes they do. But when they're unrelated, you might just have to wait to actually and prioritize which one is most important. Okay. Again, Miss Julia's notes and insights. Energy is like sunlight. When it's scattered, it warms the place. When it's focused, you create fire, right? So you choose goals that move the needle and align with your core values. So in order to do that, you need to be clear. What are your core values? What is it that you want to accomplish for your life? Where you want to see yourself? Where's future Disa Nice 777 next year? Who is she? Like, where she want to be? How you want her to be? Like, who is she going to be? What's the difference between her now and her next year? Then you work backwards and you say, okay, for me to be that, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. That's how you get your goals and you prioritize. So you have to have clear vision. Okay, almost done. Now, relationships, decluttering your relationships, very important. Relationships shape your inner world. So toxic and draining relationships and mental clutter, right? They add mental clutter. While supportive ones, they provide clarity. I was telling you about that before. Boundaries are essential. Without boundaries, relationships consume your emotional energy. A lot of people don't know that because they don't have their own boundaries. And they think you're being mean because you have yours. That's good for them. Okay, let people adjust. People will adjust or not. Then it's not your right people. Okay, so the relationships without boundaries, they consume your emotional energy. You ever see people who sometimes people are tired and they wonder why they're so tired. It's not lack of sleep, it's mental tired or emotionally tired. That is the worst type of tired, because 8 hours of sleep is not going to solve it, right? Don't let people do that to you. Okay, so that leads to stress, it leads to resentment, it leads to exhaustion, right? And it's important to guard and for you to watch out for it, right? So letting go of toxic people is not selfish. This and I said that's a fact. Yeah, letting go of toxic people is not selfish, it's survival. You have to survive, especially in this world with all this distraction and all these people that are not short of their own problems. Don't let people put their problems on you. There's a reason they say misery loves company. Listen and hear me well, especially ladies who are on the playback. A man without peace will try to steal yours. A man without goals will try to steal yours. A man without a vision will try to corrupt yours. You need to guard what it is that you're building for yourself. Okay? The right people will come. Give your best to people, but as soon as you see certain things, understand that you have something to protect. You have a lot to protect. This is your life. Okay? So, getting rid of toxic people, exactly. Guard your peace, your God-given peace. Nobody can give that to you. Right? Getting rid of toxic people is not selfish. It's not. It's survival. You have to survive. Right? Choose peace over chaos. That is the cornerstone of decluttering your mind. Always choose peace over chaos. I go a step further. I don't care how long I know you, family or not. I will always choose peace over history. And I told somebody in my family that the other day. I said, listen, I will choose peace over history any day because history is gone. Peace is what's the path forward. It's going to help me to do and be what I need to be. My God-given peace, what so much people can't even sleep in their bed, they toss and they turn. They can't even chew their food properly. And I must give up my peace. What I spend so much inner work doing to cultivate. And I'm going to let you come now with your careless self, who are careless in your own life, to plant seeds in my life? Hell no. Out the garden. Right? So, quality over quantity. Shallow or forced relationships that fragment your energy. You're all over the place. And you know it. Guys, come on. Let's be real. If you're not going to be real with yourself, you can't be real with anybody else. You know when your relationships are shallow. You know when things are forced or when things feels forced. You know it. You can feel it. Where you put yourself through that. Right? Nurturing a smaller circle of genuine people who are supportive, that fosters your growth, that will take care of you. Right? Intentional communication. Be intentional. Right? By being clear and being assertive, you reduce misunderstanding. Let me tell you, people will call me all type of things. They will say, "Oh, you know, she's tough," or They'll also say, "Oh, she's nice," and blah, blah at first, but then say, "Oh, she's tough," or "She's a B," or whatever. But guess what? Nobody will ever say that I'm unclear. Clarity is my superpower. And nobody will ever say that I'm dishonest. Very honest. That's what clarity gives you. If you can deal with that honesty, great. If you can't, too bad. Right? Too bad. I spend so much time being honest with myself that I have no problems. I have no qualms being honest with you. Absolutely none. Right? So be intentional with your communication. Intentional. Okay? Right. Your mental clutter is often a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. You surround yourself around low vibrational people, people who talk other people who gossip, people who really bad mind, or people like to plant negative seeds in your brain because they themselves are negative and their lives are negative. Miss Blue Fire, no, not at all, America, but you know that I'm sweet as pine. Right? You know that, right? So you surround with those people. It's a mirror effect, right? Your relationships act as an echo chamber for your own mental state. The things that you entertain, if you have a lot of gossips around you, more than likely you're a gossip too. Or you wouldn't be entertaining so much people with gossip. More than likely, you're a gossip as well. Birds of a feather flock together. These are facts. Sorry, I didn't make the rules. If you surround yourself with drama, gossip, or negativity, your mind will also become noisy. Your mind going to be noisy, your thoughts going to be noisy, and you are going to be noisy, right? If you have a friend who constantly complains about life and never takes action, that negativity is your daily soundtrack. Because remember, I told you, thought vibration is a thing, right? Cutting ties or setting boundaries and say, okay, you know what? I love this person. I try to help them. But you know what? 5 minutes for a week. Okay, that's all I can give you. Right? Because I know our father, I know our mother, etc. Right? Set boundaries. It will give you relief and it free up your bandwidth for meaningful pursuits. Right? If you know somebody always sending some foolishness on Facebook or Instagram, it's not laughing time right now. Right now I'm working. Good for you. You have enough free time to be sending all this foolishness. When I have time, I'll look at it. Right now, I don't have time for this foolishness. Right? So you have to be able to do that for your life. Right? Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're not. They're about protecting your own peace. Like Desonai says, yes, guard your peace. And ladies like how Desonai's talk, right? Miss T as well, right? Wherever she is, bigger up wherever she is, right? Nikki Willie as well. When you see those ladies talk, you can see that they've been through things where they know that their peace is worth their guarding. Clearly, their peace means something to them. So clearly that means that they know what it is like for the opposite, for the non-peace. So that is why the peace becomes so much more precious to them. Okay? These are facts. So boundaries are not walls. They're filters. They will filter out the wrong people. If you tell people what your boundaries are and they have an attitude, they're not the right people for you. That's fine. People being born every day. If you are like that, if you are like this, there are other people like you. Okay? It's the worst thing to be around in bad company or be around people that you know and you feel lonely. There's no alignment is what's important. Alignment. Right? Big up the ladies. That's right. Alignment is what's important. Okay? And that's the same thing that I was saying about this channel before with Merkaba. Yeah, this one is, I can tell. Real recognize real. The same thing I was saying before when we were talking about with Merkaba. With the channel, it's not for everybody. I want aligned people. I want people who are on the same trajectory. I don't want a bunch of people over here. I don't want no followers. I want other leaders, fellow leaders that can even lead me even to better pasture. Right? I don't want a bunch of followers. Followers, who want followers? I want leaders. I want quality. So if the boundaries are not for you, bless you. Carry on, right? So it teaches you that your boundaries are not walls, they're filters. They will filter out the people who are not supposed to be here, which is great, right? They help you decide what energy enters your life, right? Because without them, mental clutter accumulates in the form of guilt, obligation, and resentment. I don't have none of that in my life. I don't have no guilt, no obligation or resentment. Anything that I've done in the past that I regret, I forgive myself for it and let it go. That's shadow work. That's dealing with your shadow. I tell you guys already, without saying too much, there's light and dark in me. I have the sun and I have the moon, right? That's why I always tell you to stay on the good side. But whatever, I don't harbor these things because it affects your manifestation, guys. Thought vibration is a thing, not just from other people, but from you yourself, right? Let go of all of those things. Journal it. Forgive yourself. So move into your future clear. Okay? Example, saying, I can't talk right now, but let's connect tomorrow. That's one of my phrases, right? It stops other people's chaos from spilling into your productive hours. Or just put your phone on do not disturb, they can't get you. Then after you just tell them, yeah, my phone was on do not disturb. All my friends, everybody who I talk to know that. Because I tell them that, yeah, my phone was on do not disturb because I was in deep work, which is true. I don't lie. Right? So over time, hi, Lady Janice. Blessings, sister. Blessings, Lady Janice. Blessings. Man, I tell you, when I watch your show, my goodness, I want to go home so much, but I'm working for it. Blessings, Lady Janice. Blessings. You have such a beautiful family, and you guys always look like you're having so much fun and cooking all the good food and all the places I want to be. So bless you for that. I live vicariously through that when I take a break. Thank you. Keep creating, Lady Janice. Keep it up. Keep it up. So over time, boundaries create a habit of balance and mental clarity. Almost finished, guys. Almost finished. See? Almost finished. I'm not telling you no lies. See? 65. We finished. And right now we're at 50. So we're still finished. Just 15 more slides. All right, let's go. Declutter your negative emotions. Negative emotions such as guilt, resentment, or fear, they occupy your mental bandwidth. You don't need that. Observe your emotions without judgment. This is where the stillness comes in. This is where your quiet time comes in, right? Observe your emotions without judgment, so you allow them to pass naturally. So yes, okay, I feel the vibration of anger right now. I'm feeling angry right now. Then that changes to, there is anger in me right now, not I am. So you don't couple yourself with the emotion. You don't couple yourself with the emotion. You feel it and you say, there is anger there right now. You breathe through it. Then you can think about why it is that you're angry and you can process it. And that's how you do alchemy. That's for another show. But, right? So you observe your emotions and you respond to emotions constructively rather than reacting impulsively. Because if you say, I just vex, and you just blow off at people, that's not constructive. That's reactive, and you're going to make more problems. But if you feel the emotions and you recognize it and you accept it and you say, right now, there is jealousy there. Right now, I do feel slighted by that. Then you can just breathe through it. Then you can see how you want to deal with it. Sometimes that means talking to the other person and say, listen, don't pass your place with me. You deal with it and you can move on, right? But regular reflection and journaling, that helps to release your lingering emotional clutter. A lot of times these people are carrying a lot of emotional clutter, and you see them and they're just sad for no reason. You say, why are you sad? And they reach the point where they don't even know why they're sad. They don't even know why they're angry. They don't know why. You know why? These emotions, without you recognizing it, it creates a pattern. You have to pay attention to people's patterns. Sometimes there's no trigger there. There's just a pattern of them just being a complainer, a pattern of them being somebody who's just always angry. You know why? Those are unchecked emotions from not paying attention to themselves and just continuing with it, right? So you have to be careful of that and watch for that in people. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I say that again. This is not my quote, but I say it again. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Don't hold on to anger. It only hurts you. It's fine for you to feel the anger. Yes. How does journaling help that? Yes. When you write it out, you become aware of it, right? So it's a catharsis. It's like you're releasing it from in here. So you're writing it out. You're giving it a form, right? So you can observe it, right? That's how it helps. And you become aware of it, because awareness is the thing. And sometimes when you start to write it, these are nice, you start to write out other things you didn't even realize because you're in flow. You're letting it out. You're letting it out. It's kind of like crying as well. Crying is very therapeutic. But the thing is, you don't want to ruminate, right? So you write it out and you let it go. And you acknowledge that this is how you feel. You acknowledge that this is what it was. This is what it is, right? You can see it there on the paper because you acknowledge yourself. A lot of times people are carrying anger too and resentment because it was not acknowledged by the other person. A lot of times you feel hurt by something too, even after you said it to the person, and because of their reaction to it or their non-reaction to it, right? You feel like it wasn't validated. You don't need people to give you closure. That's another trick for mental health. You do not need people to give you closure. A lot of times you need yourself to give yourself closure. So he did this to me. I'm angry about this. I'm angry that he did that to me. I'm angry that I allowed him to do that to me. I'm angry at myself for knowing that he would do that to me and not taking the steps. I'm angry that, and then it goes on, and the more you write, the more you start to discover where the anger is really coming from. Sometimes you're not angry at the person, you're angry at the act. And you're angry at the fact that you saw the red flags and you ignored them. So that's the shadow work. That's how you deal with yourself. And then when you actually are honest with yourself, and then you can realize that you were angry at yourself, that's when you can forgive yourself. And when you forgive yourself, you can forgive that it happened. So you forgive that person. No, not because you forgive that person means that you're going to allow them back, right? Or not because you forgive that person or you forgive that thing, that situation means that you give them back access. But you forgive the situation, so your karmic death is free and you are free. So yeah, so this and nice. Just try it. Just once you start to write, you just start to write. Just give yourself the space. Just start to write, and you start to realize that other things start to come out too. Right? It's like a flow. So emotional clutter, it harms you, it not others. Right? Letting go doesn't mean that you condone the behavior. It means that you reclaim your mental space. So you pick your battles, right? You pick your battles, right? So a manager holds resentment towards a colleague who took credit for their work. Each day they stew and they vex and they upset and they have an attitude towards the colleague, right? Their productivity suffers because the colleague is living rent-free in their head. Acknowledging the emotion, right? And refocusing on their own projects, it clears the mental space and it restores effectiveness. But I'll go another step further. You acknowledge the emotions and you be clear with a colleague and say, listen, I did not appreciate that you did that. You stand up for yourself. Always stand up for yourself. You can't advocate for other women. You can't advocate for other people if you don't advocate for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. You can stand up for yourself in a nice way, but you still stand up for yourself and say, listen, I see you. And let you know that I see you. I see what you said there. I see the slight there. What did you mean by that? Let's deal with it. Sometimes you don't drink your porridge while it's hot. So that's where discernment and wisdom comes in. Sometimes when things are high emotion, you don't deal with it right there, especially if you care about the relationship. You let it cool off. But you let the person know in no uncertain terms that, listen, that wasn't cool. Right? That was against my spirit. So then you can forgive the person because you let it off your chest. Okay. Now, emotional clutter is invisible, but it's heavy. It drains you and it clouds your judgment when you have emotional clutter. Right? So the author, it teaches us about noticing your feelings, labeling them, say, okay, I'm feeling anxious now. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit of jealousy there. Okay, I'm feeling angry there. I'm feeling sad about this. Right? Notice it, label it, and release it. Journaling and meditation and reframing your experience, that's practical tools. Right? Journaling is a practical tool. So letting go is not weakness. People think that letting go of things is weakness. It's not. It's a matter of what's important. Is it important for this person who means nothing to you? She probably don't have any sense. You care about what she said? No, but you let her know in a nice way. I'm not the one to try to come for. But do I really care about what you think? No. So I let it go. I have other things to think about. So letting go is not weakness, right? It's mental housekeeping, right? And it keeps your mind ready for what truly matters because emergencies can happen, right? Fires happen, things happen, especially if you're growing a business, things, unsuspected things just going to happen. You have to be able to deal with them without getting flustered, right? Remind them of the circles from the 7 habits. I did. So the circle of influence from the 7 habits of highly effective people, you know the things that you can change, you know the things that you can influence, separate from the things that you have no control over. Almost done. 53. Decision fatigue creates mental clutter. I said that already, right? So you simplify your routines and you automate trivial decisions. Simplicity in decision bleeds clarity in actions. Yes. Simplicity in decision, it makes it clear what you need to do next. What do I need to do next? What's the next step? What's the next move? Right? You have to know what your goal is. What's the next move? And that's why chess is a great game to learn to play. Right? You become very clear about your next move. And you look at your next 5 moves as well. Your environment is your second mind. It is. Whatever is in here is going to show around you. If you're a mess in here, your environment is going to be a mess. Physical clutter directly fuels mental clutter, and it's vice versa. It's like a cycle. Your place messy is going to make you messy in here. You being messy in here going to keep outside there messy. So it's a cycle. So clean up your space. Put things in order so that you can have mental clarity, right? It's a psychology. It's a psychology of minimalism, right? So less is not about deprivation, but it's about focus. Focus, right? Right? Focus. Create system, not piles. Yes, create systems. Like I was telling you about Gary Ham. He has systems when he wakes up. He knows exactly what he wants to do when he wants to do it. So he's a system. It's by rote. It's just. You don't have to decide. You don't have to think, oh, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do? No, because he knows exactly what he needs to do to get out the door. We women do that naturally, right? Especially when we have children. We have a system. Get up in the morning, rollers in your hair, you turn on the coffee pot, to get the kid out of the bed, your shoes already clean, your bag already packed. It's a system. You have a system, right? We know how to do these things to organize and to make the things run. Women naturally do that. That's why we make such good leaders and business leaders, because systems is a part of us. We work off of systems naturally, right? Decluttering as a ritual, regularly letting go of unused things. Guys, don't keep a lot of clutter, right? Like if you don't wear it in 3 years, free it up, give it to somebody else if it's in good condition, right? Because you're going to just keep accumulating. And when you look in your drawer, you haven't even seen that piece of garment for 5 years. It don't even fit you. Somebody else could use it. Give it to Salvation Army. Gary, oh, you're listening, Gary. I didn't even know you're still there. I had no idea you were still there, Gary. Right? But yeah, right. You are a great example of that. Very, very structured, very disciplined. Kind of like my grandfather. My grandfather was an army man. When he get up, you know exactly what he's going to do because you don't have to think about it. Right? Because Gary has other things to think about during the day. Right? So decluttering as a ritual, right? You regular let go of things, unused things. It's symbolic of releasing outdated parts of yourself too. Let go. You haven't worn it in a while. Give it to somebody else who might need it. You clearly don't need it. You haven't worn it in 5 years. Why are you going? What are you keeping it for? Unless it's sentimental. Like I'm a sentimental person, right? Some things my mother give me, I still have it, right? Because it's my mother, right? I don't use it, but I put it away, far, far away, where it's not where I don't have to see it, but I know I still have it. Okay, so that's different. All right, so the simple truth reflects that clutter constantly whispers. It does. All that clutter around you, it adds to psychic stress, guys. Psychic stress is a thing. Psychic stress is a thing, and it will add age to you. Okay, you have this thing with unfinished business. Like, listen, if it don't work in my house, I'm throwing it out. I don't keep broken things around me. If it's broken and I cannot fix it, if the chair have 3 legs, the chair is going out the door. I'm not. What am I keeping it for? You can't sit on it. It is no longer a chair because some things gets its description by its use. If you cannot sit on it, it is no longer a chair. What are you keeping it for? If I can't fix it, I don't have broken things in my house. I don't want broken things around me because it affects my mind. And you will find if you start with that practice, you start to see that it affects your mind too. There is such a thing as psychic stress. When you have so much things that you, oh, I'm supposed to fix that. Oh, I'm supposed to fix that. Oh, that bulb won't fix. Oh, that's supposed to be fixed. Oh, that's supposed to fix. And then and then you wonder why you're jumping from thing to thing. These things are invisible, but they add to your psychic stress. It's a real thing. Believe me. And it's not something that I had to learn from the lodge. It's real thing. It's real, right? So a leader preparing a presentation will think sharper at a clean, minimalistic desk than one with a whole heap of papers for things that you have to deal with next week, things that you dealt with last week, things you're supposed to file away from before. Clear it up, man. Right? Every object you own takes up space in your mind. These are facts, whether you realize it or not. The other day, one of my buddies, right? 2 years ago, he bought a yacht, nice yacht, 90-foot yacht. Beautiful. Just the other day, he was complaining. He was with his wife and he was complaining. He says, you know, Barb, I don't know if I own this yacht or this yacht own me. I have no free time. She's like, what are you complaining about? You wanted it for so long. And 2 years ago, you were showing it off to everybody and taking pictures all over Facebook. And he goes, yeah, but all the maintenance, all the things that I have to do. It's like I have to do all these things. I think this yacht own me. I don't think I own the yacht. I can't even get to enjoy it. She said, well, I do. Of course she does, because she just stand it and him do everything. He does everything. But these are facts. Every object that you own, again, I always say, you get good quality, you take care of it. But every object that you own, it takes up space in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? It does take up space in your mind, whether you realize it or not. Me, I love my books. I'm not parting with my books. So I can go to hell with that. But other things, right? If I don't need it around me, I don't want it, I'm not going to use it. Get rid of it, man. Ownership equals responsibility. That is my explanation, right? Even unused items, it takes up mental rent because your subconscious tracks them. It does. Your subconscious, listen, your subconscious is very powerful, guys. Your subconscious is very powerful, right? Example, the treadmill that you never use, right? Every time you see it, is in the back of your mind. Oh, I buy this treadmill to use it, you know. I know you see all the clothes all over the treadmill. The clothes belong on the treadmill? No. You buy the treadmill, taking up space, it gathering dust. in your mind, it give you mental stress. Every time you see that treadmill is a testament to you buying that treadmill and you not following through, not using it. These are facts. These are subconscious things. You have to take care of your mind, people. You have to take care of yourself. That is how you take care of yourself, right? And it also represents guilt and procrastination. So every time you see that treadmill, you had so much intention for you. When you see you buy the treadmill, you never use it one time, or you use it 1.5 times in 5 years. Every time you see that is a testament to yourself of you, a broken promise to yourself. It's a testament of you wasting money. It's a testament of you saying that you're going to do something, and in 3 years, you went on that treadmill one time. Get rid of it, because it's haunting you without you even knowing it, right? Selling it, it clears the physical space, and it relieves you of that mental weight. Sell it and get rid of it, because somebody else will use it. You are not using it, just getting dust and rust. And it's just reminding you of your failure of buying this treadmill and never using it. So guess what? Clear it out. I invest, greetings. Clear it out, get rid of it. Mental weight, gone. We're almost done, invest. Yeah, so we have the show today because tomorrow I actually have a wedding show that we sponsor. So I actually have to be there. So I don't want to leave you guys for a week. So I pushed it to today. So physical clutter directly impacts your mental clarity and your productivity, right? A tidy, organized environment, it reduces distractions and it reduces stress. These are facts. Try it for yourself. Space is great, people. Space is wonderful, right? Decluttering your workspace, right? Decluttering your digital files, right? Gives you energy and you focus. Never ever think that minimalism is deprivation. It's not, right? It's intentional for efficiency and for peace. Outer order contributes to inner calm. These are facts. Outer order, don't sell, get your fat ass on it. That's true, if they can, but I'm just saying, like, if they haven't for 3 years, it's a testament to something else. Sell it and get rid of it if you're not going to use it. Outer order contributes to inner calm. No, here's the thing. It's a cycle. Your inner calm also contributes to your outer order. Not outer order, like how we always say in Jamaica, out of order. No, right? Your order on the outside. Okay? Think about it. When people go and they need to breathe their mind, like Lady Janice, when she goes to the river and she looks at that order of the river and she looks at that horizon, the sea, the beautiful sea, and you see the sky all clear, and she just smells the salt and she hears the waves. That order from the outside, it calms her nervous system on the inside, right? That's why nature is so important for inner calm. You see all that order on the outside, the trees, you see the river, you see the beach. It calms you down. It makes you that breath and calms you down. And vice versa. Your inner calm, it will reflect on your outside. Your environment will be in order. Me, I know where I know where everything is, where it's supposed to be. Right? Right? Your inner order contributes to your outer calm. Okay? So it's a cycle. It helps each other. Right? I know Lady J, because sometimes, like, when I'm taking a little break, right, and like I do my mental stuff, sometimes I look at your things and I'm like, wow, yeah, I'm there with her right now, vicariously, right? So your surroundings are an extension of your mind. You'll never find somebody whose mind is together and the outside is full of dirt and clutter. Never. Right? Cluttered spaces, it leads to cluttered thoughts, scattered thoughts. Yeah, this is nice. It makes sense. I know you know it makes sense. Right? Cluttered spaces, it leads to scattered thoughts, because you're looking, your eyes darting from one thing to the next. Nothing is in order, right? Your mind is going to affect your thoughts. Simple steps first, guys. Simple, little by little. Clearing your desk each evening, organizing your files, right? Decluttering your closets. She said that's why I love it so much. That's right. Right? That creates calm and focus, right? It affects you, guys. Let me tell you. And sometimes the place just feel lighter. Like even if your floor isn't dirty, your floor not dirty, but even just vacuuming. When you vacuum your house, for some reason it just feels lighter, even if there is nothing there. That's why as I practice me, as soon as something spills, I pick it up. As soon as something, and I know it's different, especially if you have children, I understand that it's different, right? But try to live in as much order as possible because it affects your insides, okay? Your brain is not designed to handle endless streams of information. These are facts. Your brain is not designed for that. It's science. So every ping, ding, bling, bling, every notification, right? Everything, every video, everything is competing for your attention. Okay? Everything. And that's why, if you notice it, a lot of these people who are on social media, they now have to resort to shock value because that's going to get the attention, because people's attention are all over the place. Right? I don't want that. I want real attention, real focus. And you get that by giving value. So people want, they're not compelled. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to see what you're doing. They're not compelled, right? Respect lasts longer than attention. Never forget that, right? So the author stresses that intentional intake, right? So you choose your sources carefully. Unsubscribe from the noise. Something's not serving you. I understand if you want to relax, sometimes that's fine. You have a little thing that you want to relax, fine. Right? If you feel like as if you're doing so much mental labor and you want to, watch something silly, I understand that. But majority, unsubscribe from the noise, because all of that noise, and that's the same thing with people, unsubscribe from people. People who are just gossip. They don't add no value to you. All they're doing is adding mental clutter to your brain. Those people, those friends that you have that is just gossip, unsubscribe from them. You can unsubscribe from people in real life. You can just mute people on TV, mute people in real life. These are facts, right? Right? Focus on learning that adds value. Your mental energy is precious. I'm telling you that. And in this day and age, we need to take better care of our mental health. We have to take better care of our mental health. Giving yourself mental space is a big part of that. Okay? Toxic relationships, they multiply mental clutter because they will spin. Okay? Supportive relationships, they foster mental clarity. As I said to you before, feel how you feel after you talk to certain people, after you're around certain people. Do you feel lighter, or do you feel more stressed, or do you feel tired? Go with that. Go with that. Doesn't matter who they are, go with that. Right? My experience with someone might be different than your experience with them, but you are your own steward, so go with that. Okay? Your mental clutter is often a reflection of the people you surround yourself with. Birds of a feather flock together. Okay? Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're about protecting your peace. I keep saying that, and I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care. Practical steps. Cut ties or set limits on toxic and draining connections. There's some people you can't necessarily cut ties with right away. Like, for instance, say your mother is toxic. Listen, it's taboo, but it happens. Some people have toxic parents, but they're your parents. And say culturally, you grow to respect them and you really do love them, but you know they have a toxicity in them. Guess what? Mommy, I can only talk to you for 15 minutes right now today. limit it. You still talk to her, you still validate her, you still make her feel love, you're still showing the respect, you're still honoring your parents, but you have to also do that while protecting your peace and protecting yourself. So you say, mommy, 15 minutes. That's it. She can't say you never answer the phone. She can't say you never talk to her. You limit it, or you cut ties with certain things that are not good for you. That is a part of self-care. Lady Johnny says, I lock away sometimes. I don't even want to hear the phone. Exactly. Exactly, Lady Janice. Exactly. Right? You have to do what's best for you. You are your, listen, this is what I told somebody the other day, and it comes back up again. I need to write it down. Start to see yourself as someone you are in charge of to care for. In other words, you see, like Lady Janice or Disa Nice or anybody, say if you have a child, you see that child as somebody that you have to take care of. Start looking at yourself that way. See yourself as someone that you have to take care of. Separate yourself from yourself is the observer effect, right? Look at even the things that you do. It makes you more mindful. Does this right here help the person that this analysis is trying to be next year? Does this decision that I'm making right now, does it align with the vision of the future of who I'm becoming for next year? Does this help her? If no, don't do it. If no, do something else that you know will help you. Right? So we have to start looking at ourselves like people that we are actually in charge of, because that is the truth. That is the truth. Right? Thanks. See you next week for part 2. It was pretty, you see why I had to stretch it out, right? Because these books here, they're so in depth. I don't want to rush it. I really don't want to rush it, because my Canadian friends, a couple of them said that, Julia, you're talking so fast. I had to watch it over, which is fine. But still, I don't want to waste their time. The whole purpose of this channel is to save you time. All these 2,000 and plus books that I've read in over 20 years, I'm going over it so that you don't have to read them. So that you can actually skim and say, okay, I like that book, what she's talking about. Let me go and buy it. So you spending 2 hours with me is actually saving you 20 years of having to read these books. Right? That is the purpose of it. I'm saving you time. Okay? It's for all of us to grow. Community. As I said, I don't want followers. I want leaders. So this, it fleshes out people, which is great. Now, before I go, some people ask me what I do for my hair and my face. So this here, when I swim, I know I'm not getting any money from these people. Okay? You guys ask me certain things, so I'm telling you. When I swim, before I swim, AquaGuard is very good. Right? You put it on your hair before you go into the pool. It protects your hair. Okay? And also salt water. Right now, I'm making my hair go back curly because my hair actually is very curly. My hair is not straight. But I use keratin. Somebody asked me the keratin that I use. This is the one that I use. Here, Mayaki, right? So what you do is you wash it with the shampoo. This. Can you see? It's the light, right? And then you put on this smoothing keratin on it, right? And it makes your hair straight. But the thing, what it does is it washes out. It's gentle, so it washes out. No formaldehyde inside of it, so it washes out. You know what? Let me turn off this ring light because it's making me hot anyway. Right? So let me see if you can see better now. Yeah. So this thing here, it's smoothing. It has no methylene, no formaldehyde, right? No ethanol, no alcohol. So it's very good. You put in it, it kind of make your hair look like as if it cream. Canadian friends, cream means straighten, but it washes out. So the more if you go in salt water, your hair is going to curl right back up. If you go into chlorine, less, right? So that's why you just blow it out and it will come back straight again, because it's getting to be cold and making my hair go back curly. So it's washing out. What else? This thing here, this Wow Dream Coat is very good for like keeping it straight and like to keep the humidity off of it. So since you asked me, I'm telling you. Now for the volume that I used the other day, where people were asking me what I use to make my hair look so big, this BB Go Big Thickening, Go Big Treatment, Bumble and Bumble is very, very good. Okay. And somebody asked me about this thing here. It's not expensive. Hair wax stick is very, very good. So when I have my hair down and I make it slick down, right? But my hair is going back curly now because it's getting cold and it's breaking with all of the hot iron and I don't have no time for it right now. So it's getting cold. So and I'm going to keep swimming. So I'm making it go back curly. So now on my face, I don't use foundation, but this is what I use. This thing here by Ilia is very, very good. It's a, can you see? It's a skin tint. It says Super Serum Skin Tint. It's very, very good. It actually has broad spectrum SPF 40 inside of it. It's very, very good. So it's basically a skin tint. So it's like a sunscreen, but it just gives a little tint, so it can make you look a little bit darker, right? And this is the stick that I use from Bobbi Brown when I want to cover up my beauty spots, right? Because sometimes you notice that you can't see my beauty spots. It's because I cover it up with this, right? So that's what I use. So some people were asking me about what foundation I use. I don't use foundation. I use this skin tint. And what I use in my hair, that's what I use in my hair. It's nothing nothing super expensive or nothing crazy, right? You can always get these things. Just look for them online. But this thing here is very good. This Miyake keratin, it makes your hair look very, very, very straight, and it actually conditions your hair and it takes good care of your hair. And the good thing about it is, as soon as you go swimming, you go in salt water, your hair get back curly. So it's not something that is like detrimental to your hair, like cream, like straight, right? Blessings. I missed the beginning. I'll watch the playback. Great information. No problem, this and that. And thanks for coming. Thanks for spending your time with me. You know, I appreciate it. And I appreciate you too, Lady Janice. I appreciate all of you, right? And we are building the future. So thank you very much. And I will go and make some chicken wings.
Remember, don't go over the limit. Get me a one, you? You have to balance. You can't too good and you can't too bad. Just balance, no man. You can't kind and loving and tender, you know, but you have to cruel behind it. Do pure good now, so you don't read your blood clot.
Enough for that them thing, still.